everyone. Welcome to the Zero Gravity Gaming IBS Spring Finals between Goon Squad Gaming Iota and Monkeys in Training. I'm Wingman. I'm here with Taco Cat and Wisdom, and we're here to put a little extra hype for the series and send things into overdrive. So first off, looking back at this playoff run for both teams, what do you guys think of each team's path to get here so far?
I guess I'll go first. It sounds like GSG had quite an easy time, if I'm not mistaken. They were first seed, beat who did they beat again?
Galactic Warriors.
Galactic Warriors beat them, and they got an easy pass to the finals. Monkeys was a little bit longer, but they persevered and beat BDE, I believe, and probably one of the bigger upsets we saw. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, with BDE, it was a 3-1 for Monkeys in Training, which nobody saw that coming, especially with the BDE roster being as dominant as it has been in other leagues, as well as with this entire league. MIT coming in with a 2-0 win over SBFC, GSG Iota just 3-0 in Galactic Warriors, and I think one of the quickest games that we've ever seen in overall matches for the most part.
Yeah, so when we look at this GSG Iota roster, one thing that really sticks out to me is how stable it's been. This middle three was playing together last year on GSG Kappa, and the same roster has played together as a 5 in a few other tournaments coming into ZGG. How do you think that's affected their performance in ZGG this year?
I believe since they've been together, they've grown synergies together and just really are very comfortable. I know for a fact Snugglebutt and Chubby Chernobyl have pretty much been one of the standout bot lanes in ZGG IBS this year, and I think it shows by them making finals so comfortably in the first seed. So I feel like I've been a little bit disconnected, but I honestly think that they're probably going to look to play through this strong bot lane and just use the synergy everybody has. So
I'd agree with that. I think MIT, they have a roster that's more thrown together. It seems like they're very obviously still very good at the game with going in 2-0 on an SBFC and then 3-winning BDE. So I think they're going to be a good black horse for this match, honestly. If they can get their bot lane to just curb stomp over GSG Iotas, I think they'll end up having a better chance to win.
Yeah, that bot lane is a really interesting match to watch, especially with Nerf Snugglebutt for GSG and Prince Sticks, also known as Ballistic, for MIT. They've got a real long history of playing together and against each other. Even a bit of a personal rivalry across teams and orgs. So that'll be real fun. Definitely one to watch. Speaking of matchups to watch, what lane would you guys say is your big X Factor matchup to watch in this series?
For me, I'm going to be honest. I think it's a toss-up between bot lane and top lane for me. I would assume GSG likes playing through that strong dynamic duo of Snuggle and Chernobyl. But I also think for Monkeys, they have Crothio, who I know personally, and I think he's a pretty solid silver top laner right now. So I think they could either look to play through him and look to him to be one of the stronger carries on MIT.
I'm actually more excited to see the jungle and mid. Just with OMG playing weird things like Kled mid and just going, especially last week, he ended up playing Kled mid into a Seraphine, and he had a double kill with them trying to dive him under tower. And he ended up chasing them back to their tower, and just his knowledge of that champion, being able to get Scarl back at the exact opportune time to take that extra hit from the tower was insane.
I can personally attest to how good OMG is on some of those wilder picks so receiving word the teams are ready for start the game. So can we get our final series predictions from each of you guys?
I'm gonna honestly, for game one at least, I think GSG is gonna come out swinging, so I'm gonna give it to them game one.
I'm saying GSG over MIT 3-1.
All right, and with that, let's send it to the casters and get this game started.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ZGG IBS Finals. I'm Fritz, here with Michael, getting ready for draft here between GSG Iota and Monkeys in Training. Michael, what are you excited for here most tonight, looking to come out of the draft?
Well, I'm excited for all of this. I am excited, like the desk was touching on, seeing some of these wacky mid lane picks that we've seen before. The Kled mid especially, I was not ready for it, but I mean, it leaves for exciting games, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. And I believe that Talia should be allowed, maybe. She was changed. So she is eligible, and she just got big changes. And I can see, without spoiling too much, Only Magical Girls has put in a couple games on the Talia, so could be very exciting to see.
Yeah, and as a mid lane player, I am really excited to see that pick coming back out. And a lot of these really interesting picks from Only Magical Girls have piqued my interest. I'm really excited to see how they play around that tonight. Maybe coming out with something that GSG is not ready for. GSG having that really comfortable split so far. I'm really excited to see if they're able to continue the trend of being dominant as we're starting to get into ready up for draft here. They were talking a little bit about lanes. I'm kind of agreeing with the bot lane being a really good focus point for tonight. Like we said, Nerf Snugglebutt being a premier ADC. Was there anything else you were looking at as far as good players?
I think the jungle could always be pretty interesting. I think especially with Timic, we've seen Timic a lot, and very good player, very standard play style. But then with me being in the jungle on the other side, it could be very interesting. I mean, I don't have too many picks that I'm predicting, but I'm just excited for the matchup.
I am really excited for the matchup. I think it's going to be a huge turning point on if we get early prio. GSG, a team from what I've seen, they are very good at doing early game rotations to Herald, getting first Drakes, staying really aggressive on these jungle matchups. So I'm looking at maybe something like a Volley Bear out of them. Could even look into other things that are really strong right now, which if I remember correctly is like Hecarim Olaf.
Yeah. Olaf also got his changes, right? Those are
the shield on W.
Yeah. And shield on W and the indefinite ult. I know that maybe in some other leagues it might not be as scary, but with how scrappy some of these fights can be in IBS, that ult could be going on for like a solid 15 seconds.
So and then plus Death Dance resets. I'm looking for huge Olaf plays if that does get picked. We are just waiting on the ready up from GSG right now. It looks like we'll be getting into draft soon.
Yeah. And in the meanwhile, we talked about some of the history, but I mean, MIT, we watched on stream Super Best Friends Club come through the gauntlet, make their way through 4-0 with only having to play 2 games, so impressive from them. But then MIT quickly put them in their place with a quick 2-0 at the start of playoffs. So MIT making sure other teams know how strong they are, but BDE was able to take a game off of them last week, while GSG sitting undefeated in playoffs, 5-0.
And that is an extremely impressive feat for MIT to do. I know a lot of people had BDE winning this league or coming close to it. We're looking a little bit off on their roster though. Veigar feed in the mid lane coming into sub. We're gonna hope that their synergy stays good throughout these games. Veigar feed hopefully slotting right in. Maybe even on the Veigar.
Yeah, I mean, Veigar, super strong champ. One of my favorites in the game was the first ever main that I actually had, and I think the items just did Veigar so good. Like he can go the Everfrost or just go Zanya's, and then of course Veigar V2 has shown that you could just buy GA on Veigar and be completely fine. But now looking like we're into pick bans, and so we already see a ban come out, and it's Malphite banned away by GSG.
MIT going into their bans now. I do like the Malphite ban. I know we have some casters that are very fond of AP Malphite, and that is not going to be the case here tonight. Diana, another very strong early fast clear jungler getting banned away for MIT here. What are you looking as far as kind of play styles here? We're looking for front to back, or?
It's always a little bit of a grab bag, and I think with GSG taking away the Malphite and the Mordekaiser, they're definitely scared of that top lane potential. So scared of what Crow Theo can actually pull out, and it's a lot of respect being shown up there. But for GSG, I'm curious to what they opt to first pick. I think jungle is still typical, so I might see an early ADC Lockton or something of the sort.
That's not to suggest the B1 Jinx, one of my personal favorites, as we do see the Veigar ban come out. No Veigar for Veigar or feed, hoping he doesn't live up to his name. And I do agree with showing a lot of respect to Crow Theo in the top lane. Crow Theo has been a very big carry point for MIT, at least throughout the season, proving he can handle himself up in his lane. One hand looking to put a change to that tonight. As we're waiting on the third ban to come out from MIT. Morgana, again, taking out some of these really strong bot laners right now. We know that GSG does like to play around their Snugglebutt and Chubby Chernobyl, so getting these very strong prio picks in the bot lane out is very good for them.
For sure. And while we're waiting for the first pick to be locked in, everybody make sure to get your predictions in. Who do you have taking this first game? Do you have GSG with that Lux first pick, or do you have MIT bringing it home?
The question is, MIT, are they going to respect the Caitlyn Lux here, or are we going to pick it away? That's a really strong bot lane. I think I've seen Nerf Snugglebutt and Chubby Chernobyl play it before, actually. I know it's something they like to spend some time on. As we see a Brand coming out from MIT looking to combat that early Lux damage. Brand, the absolute terror of IBS. I hate playing against this champion.
Yeah, you have a little bit more experience in the league, but Brand, for me, is just such a curious pick. I have not seen this champion in a while, and maybe it could have been specifically practiced for the Lux, and with confidence picking it there, because I don't very much see it going mid. I don't think that's going to happen.
I have played against Brand mid maybe twice, but I know for a fact that that champion does too much damage. Vayne, Brand. I don't know how I feel about that bot lane combo. One champion looking to deal some very far away damage, the other one looking to get melee range. As we see the Tristana coming out, looking to stomp this Vayne Brand early. I really do like this from Nerf Snugglebutt. I think they're going to be able to have a lot of early pressure in this lane, hoping Lux hits Qs, obviously.
Yeah, with one Q, that could very easily spell the end of Vayne. With only the Condemn and the Brand stun to protect her, there's not all too much. But this gives a lot of, as we see it to be confirmed, locked in. Yeah, as we see it locked in now.
Oh.
Also a Bard Hover, not going to talk about it yet, but the Tristana gives so much pressure to go onto this Vayne. The Vayne only has a tumble. That's not much distance to cover compared to the Rocket Jump. So very volatile lane coming from GSG. And I think paired up with the Tark, that would be even better than the Lux. And we see it locked in. Because that, the Dazzle, whatever the E is, that paired up with the Tristana jump, that's just super easy to hit and gives you a stun from so far.
Michael showing how much game knowledge he is, pulling ability names out of his pocket. I do definitely like Taric Tristana better, especially with late game Taric. We see Ornn picked, which I don't agree with, into the Taric R. Taric going to be looking counter engage with the R, make his entire team invulnerable. Very team fight comp coming out from MIT. Looks like they're going to be giving probably first two drags.
Definitely need time to scale.
Yeah, first two items coming out from Vayne. She'll be useful. Ornaments coming out from Ornn at level 13-14. He'll be useful. Trundle band away. That's a pretty good ban.
Yeah, no definitely. When you have the Ornn, you definitely need that Trundle band away. So much resistances that can be stolen. But talking to more of how these teams are looking to play, with the Ornn locked in for MIT, GSG needs something that can actually chunk through the Ornn. Tristana isn't the best always at tearing through these super tanks. More the bomb's really good at killing squishies and just doing a lot of AoE damage. But specifically for tearing through the Ornn, curious to how they're going to respond.
Normally, I would say Cassiopeia, but Lux, again, picked in the mid lane for only magical girls. So we need to be looking at something with true damage, probably in the jungle or top lane. And with Trundle being gone, that's getting tougher and tougher for GSG to do. As we see a Nocturne band hovered and the Xin Zhao band coming out from GSG, taking away a lot of that early jungle pressure. Still open picks is the Volley Bear and the Hecarim. I think that would be a good pick for both comps right now, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And with the Kayn also almost banned away, not quite yet, still a hover. I would be surprised to see MIT go for their jungler here, because they see the Lux locked in, they know that should be mid lane, unless they do something wacky, send it top. So they can have jungle counter pick, but if there is a priority pick, then by all means they can go for it, but I'm not sure.
I think R4ing mid is just the best move here.
Yeah.
Like you said, Lux unlikely to be flexed anywhere other than mid. Could be Taric jungle. Do not count it out. As we do see the Hecarim I was talking about. Okay. We're being stream sniped, Michael.
We are being stream sniped, and with the Hecarim locked in, that's, like we talked about, very strong pick, and I'm excited to see it. Quick clear. See how GSG chooses to respond and lock in a Shen to combat the Ornn.
GSG's comp is looking like, ending by 20 minutes or the game gets hard. Not a lot of damage coming out for this Ornn or this Hecarim once they both get resistances. I'm excited to see what they lock in for jungle here, but I don't really know what they could possibly do to combat this at this moment.
Yeah, it looks like a type of comp that we saw last week where they're putting all their eggs into this Tristana basket. This ADC needs to carry, and now with the Zac locked in, this ADC really needs to carry. A lot of peel, a lot of healing, a lot of shielding coming out from the rest of the team, but if this Tristana is shut down, it is very, very bad.
And I'm looking at mid here for something that could... Galio's not what I was thinking. I was thinking Twisted Fate. Something that can get onto the Tristana when you're not expecting it is they lock in the Galio. So
This is a lot of dive.
they have chosen the comps for us. They have chosen the lane to watch for us. This is going to be a bot lane centric game. This
Yeah,
is
for sure.
Tristana versus Vayne. This is Lux versus Brand. Head to head. Bare knuckles. Blood everywhere. It's going to be a slaughter.
Yeah. Should be very exciting, and we'll be hopping into client draft soon, so we'll get more of the same. But to talk more onto these comps, I think for MIT, it's very easy what they need to do in the fights, especially with how GSG rounded out their comps. They have the Hecarim, they have the Ornn, they have the Galio, they have these ways to engage onto the Tristana from far away, and hopefully, if you're lucky, you can CC the Tark long enough that they can't actually get the Cosmic Radiance off and block the rest of the damage.
Again, Cosmic Radiance, normally a very good ult. I think when you're only protecting your Tristana, if this Tristana gets behind, this game is over.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be looking more into that once we get into client draft.
Soon, TM.
Which will be happening soon. Hecarim looking to get early prio. I really don't see any way this game doesn't just end up with 5 people bought at 15 minutes. As we do get into the client draft.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be, and I mean, Snugglebutt, very renowned player. We've seen them a lot around the scene, and obviously high expectations for them, but their team doubling down on this idea and just making sure all the eggs are in the Snugglebutt basket, and very exciting to see because we know, I mean, it makes it a little easier for us because we only have to really pay attention to that one lane, make sure they carry, but moving on to the other lanes. Oh my gosh, I have the draft ball. There we go. I'm not watching it on my...
Top lane, the Shen versus Ornn matchup.
Today. Yeah, Shen versus Ornn. Shen can block the brittle auto attack from Ornn, but still a relatively even lane. Both these champions scale a lot and will get accelerated into the later game. But the Galio versus Lux matchup, I think Galio can actually do quite well in this lane. Get the push onto the Lux and try to take advantage of the roaming potential.
And that is part of what I was going to talk about, liking Monkeys in Training's comp a little bit more. Galio getting the shove and being able to roam with Hecarim, they can be able to create a lot more interesting scenarios, especially in the bot lane. They could look to dive at some point early, depending on whether or not Vayne gets the push with Brand, which I don't think is going to be the actuality of how that lane should go.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Theoretically, Tristana should be pushing, which is actually good for Monkeys in Training.
Mm-hmm.
So Nerf Snugglebutt, again, adding more pressure, picking the pushing lane into a team where I don't think they're going to have mid or jungle prio.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, obviously their summer spells aren't locked in, but just any inkling of what they're thinking right now, we see only magical girls right now having the barrier instead of a teleport. So even with just summoner spells, Veigar Feed has the map movements, and only magical girls a little scared of this lane, might get one shot, needs that barrier to protect themselves, and especially with the Galio setup, Hecarim makes for easy ganks.
Yeah, and I can confirm from playing against Galio, that champ is just a slight bit overtuned against these squishies.
Yeah.
Barrier, not a bad decision. I would be looking more for the teleport or maybe even an exhaust for the late game ability to help your teammates out rather than just taking barrier and getting one shot anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for a quick anecdote while we're waiting, I have a friend, he goes to my school, he was my, sorry, maybe I don't have a friend as my producer's yelling in my ear, but I was coaching, or I was the manager of a team, and he got to Challenger just by spamming Galio. He was Yasuo Yone one trick, took to Galio, and just skyrocketed in rank. That champion is broken, disgusting to see. I don't like to see it, but what I do kind of like is Vayne. Oh, both Vayne and Nerf Snugglebutt at the moment opting for the exhaust.
Acid being hovered in the support round. I do like the exhaust a lot. I don't think heal is going to do much in these lanes, seeing as how both lanes are very bursty, very fast damage, right?
Yeah.
Heal is not going to get you through those fights. Heal is not going to get you. Exhausting the Vayne will get you somewhere. However, I think the exhaust is going to be more useful on monkeys in training. Exhausting Tristana, you take out all the damage from that lane with one summoner spell while you still have a Brand in the back hitting.
Yeah, and Brand also does so much damage.
Overtune support. Overtune support. Overtune support. Riot, please fix the game.
It's probably one of the second most support that I hate playing against. I play a lot of ADC, so seeing Brand, it's always a bad sight. Unless I get super fat and I can just one-shot the Brand because he's useless then. But if anything's even, this Brand will just drop W's on me, and for some reason, they just are always censored on me. I don't know if they're always scripting or what. I can dodge abilities. Also, it's actually that type of ability. If they put a circle onto the ground, like Zillion. Zillion is my most hated support because I can never dodge the Q. They always just click on me, and it's point and click. It's not even a skill shot at that point. I don't get it. I'm
the best Zillion in IBS, and I just think you're bad, but...
Oh, okay.
As a Katarina player, not really used to those problems. That sounds more like an ADC thing.
Yeah,
you should
Katarina
probably just play a
player,
better
okay.
role.
Yeah, I also play top, so I really have a good time playing the game.
Yeah, you play just two roles I cannot stand to play. As we are getting into spectator delay, so we are going to throw it to a break. But we are going to be right back with you on the desk. This is Fritz and Michael. We will see you once you guys get into game. We are in game 1 of ZGG IBS Finals, GSG versus Monkeys in Training. On the GSG side, we're going to have one hand on the Shen. Timic with the interesting rune choice of Dark Harvest on the Zac. Only Magical Girls with the Lux. Nerf Snugglebutt with the Tristana and Chubby Chernobyl on Tarek.
And for MIT, as I hold my breath to see if Finals taken on the brand will survive, they do. They survive, but Prince Six running the Vayne Vagar feed on the Galio, me on Hecarim, and Crotheo on the Ornn. And we saw a little cheeky invade, got some vision down onto the blue buff by GSG, but otherwise, and the vision was even matched by MIT, but otherwise, no kills, no flashes, no sums.
Always a good start to a ZGG IBS game when we see an invade. Luckily, no one died, no one flashed, like you said. Little bit of poke coming out for Brand, gonna cause Shen to back go to his lane. Red start for Hecarim, while we see Timic starting also on his red. It's gonna be an even match of clears coming out from both junglers.
Okay, I ask this to you. I've asked this to Ryan before, but do you consider this a mirrored start because they're both on the red, or do you consider it a mirror start when they're both on the same side of the map?
I consider it a mirrored start when I feel like using the term.
Oh, okay. You know that works.
This is going to be a little bit better for me coming out, as he is going to be pathing towards bot, where we said we do want to focus. Interesting to see how Timic deals with that, as we see only Magical Girls looking to start the trade, missing her Q in the mid lane.
Missing the Q, and because they got to lane or they were able to get to lane before, they were able to match the shove, or MIT specifically is able to match the shove in the bot lane for the time being. But with the E leveled up, explosive charge leveled up, those passive procs are already just passively shoving the lane and making it hard. And now with the level 2 especially.
Yeah, and we weren't looking as aggressive for the level 2 as I wanted, as we see a little bit of trading happening in the top lane. This is how you're supposed to play the level 2. Punish them being level 1. As we saw GSG not walking up on the level 2 buff, and we're not going to get any kills because of it. Ornn close to his level 2, still not level 2, as we do see the level up. Coming out, even CS pretty much all across the board. Shen with the taunt. Only Magical Girls also trading in the mid lane.
I'm surprised that both of these top laners opted for the teleport. I think especially Shen can always opt into that Ignite, and if you're going this aggressive early, might as well force a kill while you're at it. You have the Stand United to join the team, but I mean, makes sense. This is finals, this is higher stakes, so you want to always play it a little bit safe.
I also think the matchup, as Ornn is coming into his level 3, Ornn's going to actually be able to trade back. I think Shen loses a lot of his kill pressure not being on the level advantage.
That's very true. And we see just standard lane so far.
As you see Ornn trading back, already even damage. Holding his brittle, get the grass proc. Ornn maybe could play aggressive here. Hits the knockup. No brittle coming out. One hand with the shield. Crotheo gonna back up. No deaths yet.
And I would like to bring this up. You mentioned this already, as we see Timic sitting around the mid lane on our map. Both junglers, actually, but bringing the Dark Harvest on the Zac, that doesn't sound right.
A lot of no, it doesn't quite sound right. Maybe looking for another source of damage. We see one hand gonna go in. First blood on the Ornn. He said, I don't know what you're talking about, Fritz. I always have kill pressure. Single-handedly taking over the top lane. As the flash for Chubby Chernobyl gonna land the stun on the Hecarim. Galio's gonna go in on only Magical Girls. Only Magical Girls getting close to death. Zac gonna come in, land the stun on me. Only Magical Girls with the last hit. Great roam from Chubby Chernobyl. Getting Prio on the map. Me gonna be set behind from that. Is still one camp up on the Zac, but Zac's gonna look to start clearing, as we do see only Magical Girl still starting to trade with the Galio.
Yeah, and I'm so surprised that that play actually worked. Chubby Chernobyl walked right over the Scuttle Crab that me had taken, so spotted on the trek up, but still able to pick up that kill with, I guess, a good response from Timic being there for the team.
We can say now Timic does have a Dark Harvest stack, at least one. Already getting value out of the rune.
yeah, I mean, very true.
Huge flash and Ignite from Chubby Chernobyl, roaming support, getting the early prio. One hand getting pushed in now, got the back double Ruby Crystal. Now, what are you looking from MIT? What does this Hecarim got to do? Already set behind, needs to get his team in the game.
Yeah, already set behind, needs to get the team in the game. I still think with Veigar feed having the flash, I think mid is definitely the place to gank again. It's a Lux, still has both the suns, so is relatively safe, but should be the easiest lane to gank, has the most setup for you. Protheo into one hand, not doing the best, and the lane's in a pretty bad position. And then Prince Sticks and Sign was taken not easy to gank for at all.
Right, and there's not as much blood coming from this bot lane as we may have anticipated. Pretty even on CS across the board. What I'm really looking at is Zach to be playing on the top side of this map. He has such good mid ganks with the E, especially once he starts getting levels in it. The range is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, while you're up here, you could always throw a gank towards top too. Get over that wall, and you can surprise Protheo getting those odd gank positions. But now
2 level 6s coming out.
Yeah.
Ornn playing the brittle. Timic is backing, not coming to help his top laner, but it doesn't look like he needs it. One hand chasing him down.
Yeah, one hand doing so much work in this top lane. But now both top laners having the ults, and both mid laners, so lots of very far ranged abilities coming in. As Chubby Chernobyl poking their head around, trying to make
Looking to set up for first Drake. I think this is going to be better for GSG with the Shen ult. Heck, I'm going to get stunned up. Snugglebot autoing away. Supposed to charge on him. Brand backs him off. Lux Q gonna miss. Looking to move in the river here for GSG.
And also, you mentioned that these plays will definitely be better for the side of GSG with the Shen ult. And also, Shen has the teleport to get back to lane after. So definitely in such a great position to actually help the team if needed on the other side of the map.
And me taking it back here, looks like they're going to maybe just surrender first Drake if GSG should choose to get on it. But we're looking like a gank might come out from Timic here. Looking for the jump. One hand again, trading aggressively in the top lane with Protheo. Protheo going to walk out. As the E is going to miss from Chubby Chernobyl. Still getting poked out from this Brand, doing so much work as Tristan is going to get stunned up.
Yeah, it's Sign was taken, running low on the mana. Neither of these bot laners for the side of MIT have backed yet, so it makes contesting this dragon all so much harder.
They're going to engage on Veigar feed. Veigar feed going to have to flash away. Almost one shot. Really good vision placed by Chubby Chernobyl. Yeah. They should hop on the Drake. Hecarim is topside. Maybe coming to bail out Protheo on the top lane. Ornn ult's still up. Hecarim ult up as well with the Ghost.
A lot of setup there.
Drake is now being taken by GSG. The Ornn ult hits. Hecarim going to be coming out with the ult. One hand dodges it. Looking to get out here. Flash still up. Flash is out. Hecarim no longer going to chase. Failed gank from MIT. Got the flash. One hand probably going to TP back here. Good of him not to die as we see Nurse Snugglebot also engaging on Prince Stick. Not going to get anything for that, but a shoved wave. Just on a passive, always guaranteeing your wave is shoving.
Yeah, and also that was a very ambitious spot to jump as Nerf Snugglebot because Prince Stick could easily just hit E and you are right into the wall. You place yourself right there, but regardless, just gets the shove, takes another back. Prince Sticks still has yet to back. Should be sitting on quite a decent bit of gold.
It's hard to find a back timing when your wave is just always shoved.
That is very true.
I respect him for keeping up on the CS though. We're looking at 5 CS lead for him in the ADC, a 10 CS lead coming out for Lux in the mid lane, and surprisingly, actually, one hand down CS in the top lane for now. It's hard to see how that's happening when he has so much prio constantly, keeping Ornn off the wave. Wave is going to be slow shoving. Hecarim is in the top side. One hand needs to be careful here as he's going to engage. Hecarim walking top side, one hand, no flash. Ornn is going to flash forward. Not going to land. Lands the knock up. One hand still walking out. Might be able to get out of this. Looking to die. Keep going. And Mia is going to walk out 1 HP. Now, if I'm Timic, I'm looking to immediately jump on this Herald. We know Protheo is going to have to back soon because he has no mana. And Hecarim 1 HP is going to have to go do a camp. Protheo looking to jump forward aggressively. Going to take a tower shot.
Take the rest of their mana to do that. But now, Zach and Lux spotted on this move.
As we see the failed engage from Nurse Snuggle, but still looking to play aggressive, hold prio. Brand doing Brand things.
It's one of the first Brand procs we've seen all game.
It is amazing that this champ can go from doing no damage to getting a Leandries and one-shotting you.
Yeah, it's very fair, very fun to play against. But now, like you said, we do see Timic onto that Rift Herald.
Now we see me still hovering topside, but Galio's going to go get a ward on the blue buff for his team, maybe looking to shove out this mid lane. I don't think they know they're on it.
Yeah.
Kobe Chernobyl going to land the stun on the Brand. Nurse Snugglebot going to jump in. Explosive charge onto Prince Stick. He's exhausted. Still autoing away. Ill is going to go over to Brand, looking to 2v1 with the Galio ult, and they're both going to die. Trading 2 for 1 in the bot lane. Nurse Snugglebot getting the kill onto the Vayne. Brand trading it back. Veigar feed with the Galio ult. Huge fight for MIT keeping this game close.
Yeah, that's what you do not want to see if you are GSG. You cannot have these plays not working out. And I mean, very ambitious from Nerf Snugglebot and Chubby Chernobyl so close to the turret, and they didn't have the vision on Galio, so they weren't able to see how close the Galio was for the roam.
As we do see the early Herald dropped in the mid lane. Hecarim going to respond for that. And yeah, I really don't think... Ooh. Veigar feed forcing the flash out from only Magical Girls with the Predator. I think that being down CS in this bot lane, this Tristana, this is not where you wanted this to go.
No, not at all. And I think, I can't recall exactly, but that felt like a very late exhaust coming out from Nerf Snuggle, but it looks like Prince 6 was able to get most of their damage off. But also, like you mentioned, exhaust only works against the one of them, and Sign Was Taken also does a decent bit of damage.
Yeah, with that lost chapter, he is going to be dealing just a little bit. As we see one hand looking to engage here onto the Ornn. Ornn finally starting to trade back some damage. Looks like he's building Frostfire. I don't know how I feel about that over Sunfire in this game.
That should be Frozen Heart.
Frozen Heart, sorry.
Yeah, but that not being the mythic, they still can go for the Sunfire eventually.
One hand still engaging.
Yeah.
Protheo getting run down here.
Doesn't have a flash.
One hand opting to not dive under the turret. Very good for him. Taunt still on cooldown. Chubby Chernobyl solo engaging into 2 people. Prince Stick's gonna R. Condemn him into the wall. Nerf Snugglebot's gonna engage. Huge stun for only Magical Girls. And Prince Stick is gonna delete it as Nerf Snugglebot still likes to keep going. Shenmue coming out one-handed, missed this taunt. And Mia's gonna have to back out here with the 1-for-nothing. Prince Stick getting caught out by the Lux. Huge play for only Magical Girls. As one hand is gonna look to keep going onto this blue buff.
Time Mistaken is here trying to be a menace. And with Veigar Fiend making the roam over.
I don't think they have enough damage to contest this. We're looking to just get Ornn ahead here. Sign Was Taken, gonna land the stun and then throw his R. Only Magical Girl's gonna get caught out by Veigar or Feed. Timid gonna go in, almost one-shot. Sign Was Taken. Oh my god. Dark Harvest Zac. Oh, with the flash. Huge engage. Prince Stick's gonna be caught out here. One hand looking to keep going. AP Zac, I mean, what can we say?
I guess it's doing a lot of damage. Doesn't even have the full item. Only has a Hextech Alternator, but already doing so much damage. And now, 7 kills to 2, and second Dragon going over to GSG. And at the start of this, right after One Hand made the ult down, I was ready to make the claim saying, that's not great for One Hand. They weren't able to get anything off of the ultimate, and Protheo just teleported back to top, but that just meant that Protheo was alone pushing top while the rest of his team was getting bullied by the 5-stack of GSG, and it worked out for GSG, and now the Hex Gates activate.
Holding Solace in the 3 plates over to this Ornn in the top side with
my gosh.
Coming out. The Sign Was Taken is gonna one-shot Nerf Snugglebot. Ignite coming out. Is he gonna be able to finish it? Snugglebot jumps away, lives with 1 HP. That would have been huge for Sign Was Taken as we see One Hand trading in the top lane. Flash is up for both of these people. One hand gonna dash out, one hand keeping going. Ornn is gonna walk out without full item completed over one hand. Huge coming over 5 Dark Sack steals on only Magical Girls in the mid lane. This is the lead we wanted from GSG. This is the early aggression we needed. And it's looking good. Michael, how is MIT gonna counteract this? How are they gonna get back?
I mean, I'd still like to say gank only Magical Girls, especially with the flash being down from that last play or even earlier. No flash on a Lux, that should be easy ganks, and now me just permanently on vision getting gone in on by One Hand.
Luxo is going to land. Me automatically chunked down as we see the Ornn out. One hand's going to flash forward. Hecarim's going to ulti out. Looks like he is going to escape, and we're just investing a flash for a Hecarim ult. Not anything good going to really come from that from MIT. He's looking to get mid ganks, and he's getting forced into his jungle every time he walks out.
Yeah, so it becomes a little difficult there, but now, looking at our EXP, Theo even with the bullying's highest level in the game is BRF going in, not scared off by Timic.
One hand fighting in a huge wave. Crothio gonna land the knock up and walk out. If I was Ornn there, I'd be looking. Shen just wasted all his cooldowns and we're fighting in a huge wave. Let's keep going, right?
Yeah, you get a little bit scared without the ultimate as the Ornn though, and you know Shen just does so much damage with the empowered Q. But,
Speaking of so much damage, Night Harvester finished it for the Zac.
Yeah, that's surely something. I mean, Timic, confident in their play and making it work so far. I have no real reasons to doubt.
I see only Magical Girl is going to be clearing wards in the bottom side river. Me walking towards this bot lane. We're still walking up as Nurse Snugglebutt. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Timic does with this. We are lacking one tank in the bot side, but with Terracle, we said, where's the damage? Timic is the damage. Gonna be excited to see how this goes through in the late game.
Yeah, definitely will be interesting to see it play out. Something else that I want to see how it continues is Galio built a tier. I don't want to see Galio going Archangels. I don't think
it
that's
would be
great for him.
Fimbulwinter, wouldn't it? Would that be better?
It could be Fimbulwinter, yeah. It gives him
as Toby Chernobyl is going to jump on, Sign was taken, almost one-shot him. Nurse Snugglebutt one-shot, Sign was taken. Sign was taken, looking to throw abilities, just gets caught out by the Tristana. Huge play from Nurse Snugglebutt. Finally, the aggression we needed. Apparently, you just need Kraken Slayers. One hand, again, is going to trade into a huge wave. Looking to die Prince Six here. He's going to miss. Prince Six with the Condemned does still die. Valiant effort. This Vayne getting put so far behind. MIT looking for some way back into this game as One Hand is trying to shut Crothio out of it completely. Autoing away. Flashes under the turret. Crothio going to live with 1 HP.
That should be a bot lane for going down too, and that's a 4K Big B gold advantage for GSG, and this game is already looking more and more doomed.
It is looking more and more doomed. Speaking of doomed, Drake is going to be up in a minute. A huge lead for GSG if they can stack a 4 soul. I don't know if you know this. This soul also is the highest win rate soul in the game by a fair margin. That shock and slow coming out can be just so huge. As we see One Hand looking to engage on Crothio. Crothio, no flash, is going to try and channel the Ornn ult. Lands it, tries to run away. One Hand does not keep going. I feel like One Hand had a kill.
Yeah, One Hand had the kill. Yeah, no, One Hand had the kill. Definitely could have pressed forward, especially with the full gauntlet completed. But Crothio expending the ult already feels really bad for the Ornn, and we'll have to expend the teleport here to catch this wave that's being shoved in. Maybe
really
he looks for a top.
Really big thing there. Crow does have the TP up to join this drag fight, but now he's essentially rendered useless. No Ornn ult for this dragon fight as we're going to clear out vision for the side of GSG.
Yeah, and that Ornn ult is what helps you to disrupt this Tristana and Taric, that Cosmic Radiance, trying to prevent it from happening so easily. And Sign was taken and Prince Sticks a little bit far up. No mid turret to protect them.
There's Snugglebutt gonna jump in. On Sign was taken. The explosive charge is gonna land. And bye-bye, Sign was taken. Brand cannot deal damage if his screen is gray.
Yeah.
Huge coming out for no Snugglebutt. Very good pick. And with this dragon being taken on spawn, you can almost feel the clock ticking down for the time that MIT has to get back into this game.
Yeah. They can't even respond cross-map with the Herald because Mi is on the bottom side of this map, hoping for a contest potentially, but stumbling into a pit where the dragon's already taken.
Supposed to charge onto the Hecarim. He is going to ghost away.
So much damage.
Does not use the ghost. Nerf Snugglebutt going to flash, jump onto me. Galio is going to ult. Nerf Snugglebutt going to get caught out. Only Magical Girls with the snipe on the ult. Timic is here with the Dark Harvest proc. It's going to come through. Zac passive is still active. They could look to continue this fight. His only Magical Girls almost one-shots the Vayne.
Vayne threw an auto onto the wolf, so didn't proc the last tick of the silver bolts onto Timic. And I mean, I don't even think it would have resulted in a kill because Timic has the passive and the rest of the team had to get out of there, so just
Timic
so fed.
Almost getting punished for being full AP here. Nurse Snugglebutt getting over aggressive, gets his shutdown taken away from him. One Hand now trading onto the turret. Crothio takes the turret, but will he die for it? Unstoppable coming through. Crothio, no flash, no ult, hits the knockup. One Hand gonna dash through, dies anyways.
Crothio didn't even have to redirect. The Ram just came in and got the kill. And I mean, that's what the Orin can do. Able to pick up the turret too. That's a good swing of gold, but not really where you need the swing of gold.
Right, and we talked about this in the draft. If this Vayne goes 0-4, the game almost feels doomed.
Yeah.
Hecarim also not going the tank build, electing to build the Triforce instead into what looks like a Death Dance. Looking for more of the Bruiser, it looks like.
Yeah, and I think that's quite needed. This Lux and this Zac does so much damage, and I mean, this Tristana also, we saw an attempted one-shot onto the Hecarim when me poked their head around the dragon, but did not work. And now we see 5 members of MIT around this Baron, around this top side.
They could be looking to Hail Mary it, though I don't think that's going to turn out well, as we do see the response from all 4 members of GSG. Shen could be there in an instant with the Shen R. Stand United always up for this very good ult usage for One Hand, who I think has only used it once actually to this point.
Yeah, not very scarce usage, but making sure that it's always a threat in the back of MIT's minds. They are peeled off a little bit. They'll need to send somebody to the bot lane to catch it, and it looks like that's the Galleon's job.
And Veigar Feed with the global ult can kind of match, but he has a way less range than Shen does. Shen going to be there in the fight before him.
Has the teleport, thankfully, so can make up some distance, but Crothio aggressing.
Pushing hard in the bot lane. Timic is going to miss everything. Crothio is going to get to walk out for free. Only Magical Girl's walking up, but it is far too late. As we do see Chubby Chernobyl actually flanking him in the river, they could look to keep going on this. Taunting them. Chubby Chernobyl is going to miss the stun. Crothio going to dash out.
Has a
Timic
flash
looking
also.
to jump. Lands the jump. Going to get thrown back. Only Magical Girls misses the stun. Ornol coming out. Landed onto all 3. Crothio
still fighting.
Re-engaging. Luxol is going to kill him. I don't think the re-engage there was the point. Your teammate was TPing to save you, not to fight. Maybe a lack of communication there. As Sign was taking, is going to look to put a little bit damage back on the back end.
Yeah, and also, what I don't like to see is now taking a more specific look onto Crothio's build. Crothio is in an especially bad position to take that fight because look at the build, and they just bought the Bramble. All armor against an AP Zac and an AP Lux and then CC from Tarek.
We should maybe be looking to press tab here a little bit. I definitely think Mercs are the move for this team.
Yeah.
As we see only 1 set coming out.
Yeah, definitely. Me purchased Mercs, or purchased their Ionian boots quite early. Had Ionian boots and the Sheen off of back, but definitely need some MR with how strong this Lux is. That's a 13 stacks Magi. That only goes up. I mean, unless Lux dies, but it looks like it's only going to go up.
And now what I'm really looking for here is going to be macro plays coming out for GSG. We want to throw this Shen hard pushing into the bot lane, force 2 or 3 to come to them, and then jump on Baron. Not happening for GSG yet. Because we are looking for the soul fight.
Yeah, the soul up in 30 seconds. Shen on the top side has the ultimate, has the Stand United, has the teleport, can be there, and Crothio, no flash, has the ult, in a little bit of danger.
Again, we're getting punished for not building MR. Only Magical Girls and Timic doing so much damage to the Orange, shredding through that armor.
Yeah,
not gonna help you here.
Something I was also really surprised by is we just took a look at the gold graphs and we saw that Timic sitting at number 3 in the amounts of gold in the game still doesn't have the second completed item. Very surprising, but now looks like GSG going for something of desperation, healing away from the soul and posturing towards his Baron. I'm surprised also that Nurse Knucklebot didn't stay.
As we're gonna see the engage, Terakar coming out. Zac is on the backline dealing so much damage. Prince Stick almost getting one shot. Zac into his passive. Chubby Chernobyl looking to keep going. One hand with the flash onto Vayne. Vayne on the turret. Vayne is going to die. That's 3 dead for MIT in almost an instant as GSG is poised walking for this Baron.
Yeah, they could take this Baron, or I mean... Ooh, Timic, surprisingly, peeling off and going towards the Dragon by themselves. This leaves no smite for the Baron. There is no smite up for MIT, but... still a risky decision, and now the 1v2 Timic versus Sign was taken in Crothio.
Timic with no passive.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
important
no
to note
passive,
here.
very
And
low.
ult or Timic is going to go. Stand United coming out from the Shen. Not going to come through all the ways. They're going to take Baron.
Uh-oh.
GSG is going to take the back instead of going to try and help take the first. So first strike of the game for MIT. Delays the game at least another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What can we do with this time?
Well, what we can do is go into a replay, and we're looking at this Baron fight. Chubby Chernobyl taking the front line, and a good Taric ult that is able to get all 4 members that are here and allowing Prince Six to put the damage on, or take the damage from the Zac, and fail a taunt flash from one hand, fail flash from Nerf Snuggle, but it doesn't matter. They still got the 3 kills. They still were able to come away, snag that Baron. But I'm just so shocked that they opted to send Timic in their lonesome to the dragon and give up that soul. Well,
Yeah.
not give up the soul, but give up their opportunities to instantly get the soul.
Yeah, instantly getting soul would have definitely been better. I almost would have traded Nash for it, just due to how good this soul is. Really interesting though is we see 2 items coming out pretty much across the board for GSG, with at least 3 members still on MIT still stuck at 1.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Vayne with Ginsu's, it looks like, second item. I don't know
Yeah.
how I feel about that.
Cool.
As only Magical Girls is going to whiff an ult. Chubby Chernobyl also missing the E on Veigar feed.
Quincy's definitely gives Vayne the ability to deal more damage by just if you can't get a bunch of AD, at least get a bunch of attack speed so you can proc those silver bolts, and that's what Guinsoo's provides. But now the siege of mid, while one hand is off in the bottom lane.
And I
Definitely
definitely do
making
think
it rough.
4-1ing here is the correct
Yeah.
macro decision. Interesting also, it was Fimble Winter for Galio.
Yeah.
We see one hand getting engaged on under the turret, gonna walk out.
Oh, goodbye.
Only Magical Girls with the alley-oop. Say goodbye sign was taken. Prince Six getting engaged on next. Galio ult coming through, but it is too late. Taric ult coming out. Orton is not gonna be able to throw the R. All this damage coming out. What can they do? Veigar feed. Stand United gonna come through. Croteo getting one
That's
shot
it.
on the backhand. Nurse Snugglebutt's gonna finish the fight. That's gonna be a 4-for-0 for GSG.
This should just be the game. Me doesn't have the ultimate, doesn't have mana, and will have to recall before doing anything else. And this is a full 5 with Baron of GSG pushing in.
This is looking like it is going to be doom for MIT, as they are going to lose game 1 of the series. Me going to do what he can, just going to come through and get one
Not
shot.
much. Oh my gosh, how much? Simon Tika took so much damage just like as collateral. Wasn't even there. Hey, but at the end of the day, Brand got another kill. 6 kills to MIT, 22 to GSG, and just such a dominant game.
Yeah, really, really following through with the game plan that we knew they wanted to follow, getting that early game pressure. Very good place from Timic. I really do want to point out the AP
Yeah.
Zac proving all the doubters wrong.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Lux also had a phenomenal game. We were nailing the points of that. The Tristana is going to be the carry of the game, and this Tristana is going to be the one to carry. Lux is so much damage. Lux was so fed, had the fully stacked Magi's at the end, and was just hitting those Qs from so far away and getting one shots, and it was just very impressive to see from all members of GSG, besides maybe some blunders from the Shen in the top lane.
Yeah, extremely good communication, good ults, good team fighting. GSG looking on form in the first game of finals. MIT really needs to look to take that mental reset, take a deep breath as we go into game 2. Up until that point, we are going to throw it to a break.
I think we might. Okay, yeah, we're going break, but I will give you guys your points. GSG did have the fewer votes, but dominantly.
Congratulations. And we are going to throw it to a break, but we will be right back with game 2. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the ZGG Analyst Desk. After that very exciting first game of the final series, so let's jump right into it. One thing that was a big topic of discussion for us during the game was the draft. So, what do you guys think that MIT could have or should have done differently in that draft?
I'm going to be honest. The draft is pulled up here. You see it. They B3 the Tarek, and then they inherently with the R4 and R5 picks just send the draft into full dive when the number one Tarek thing does anti-dive. So like I just don't understand those B4 and B5 picks. I also think the Galio flex mid was really weird. I think we can all agree that he never gets prio in lane. Lux just shoves the wave, and then he can never pull off his R combo with the Hecarim. So I just think it was doomed from draft, if I'm going to be completely honest.
I would fully agree with that. Honestly, I think banning the Jinx out was the bigger mistake as well for them. Like the first pick Jinx wasn't going to happen. Seeing Snuggle on Tristana last week and then seeing him this week, it's like it's the same thing. He gets the kills, he gets the resets, he jumps in, he goes ham on it. Like even flashing into a bad fight, he'll go for it just to get the resets and get the kills. And we've seen it time and time again with him, and it's never going to stop him from just, if needing to, inting his face off to get the kills. To be fair.
Yeah, so I think the question is, if you're Snuggle, is there any way the rest of this entire series you see Tristana again unbanned?
No. If MIT has any solace of what they're going to do, ban Tristana pretty much every game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's inherently probably good. They might just ego leave it up again. Who knows? Maybe they didn't think that was the strong point, but it clearly was. So if I was them, I would also ban it every game.
I think honestly the bigger issue that MIT had was that they literally went into a comp that's just going to be a protect the carry. You have Tarek, you have Lux, you have Shen, you have Zach. Like Snuggle wasn't going to get hit by anybody unless everybody else was already dead. And with 3 full tanks in front of you, if you're dying, you're doing it wrong.
Actually, 2 full tanks, because the Zach was full AP. You forget about that.
He has.
He can one-shot you.
Brace. Let's go.
And speaking of that itemization, itemization is also something I noticed. The Lux piloted by OG was 604 with 23 Magi stacks. Not a single MR item by MIT. Do you think that's something that you think that was the right decision for them, or the wrong decision considering on it? Do you think they should have maybe indexed more into MR?
So specifically, I think Orin's first item was probably the biggest blunder in the draft for me. You're against triple AP topside, and you first item Frozen Heart, which seems really weird for me. I would have just went into the Mythic, and then if you see the Tristana popping off, then indexed into it. And then the lack of Merc Treads across the entire team was really big. I think the only person who had it was the Galio, which is nice because obviously Lux, but triple AP topside, just buy your Mercs.
I mean, it helps with the CC of the Shen, the Zac, the Lux, the Tristana, the Tarek, everybody. Like, Merc Tread should have been, for everybody minus maybe Vayne, like the go-to.
Okay, yeah, and sounds like we're about ready to throw back over to draft. So one last question. Who do you think was the MVP of that game?
Oh, we're doing draft.
Oh, we're doing draft. Okay. Sorry, I misheard.
Okay.
All right, let's lead us in then. We've got Diana banned out by MSG as a classic Timic champion.
I'm expecting probably honestly the same bans from GSG. Yeah, there's a Malphite ban off. I'm expecting Jinx to be replaced with Tristana here, honestly.
Also, big turning point in the draft. They've swapped sides, which is probably, I think, better for MIT because they might have some spicy proud pick they might want to pick.
I would hope so. They can at least like grabbing something specific for like one of their bigger carries. So either AD carry mid, maybe grab them something that they can like try and carry off of versus a Galio last pick. Honestly.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, switching things up can't hurt. There goes the Eric ban, something that really hurt their dive comp last time. Do you think maybe MIT might be going back in?
They very well could be, honestly.
They might want to send the dive comp. I think inherently the only, everyone on their team was strong against dive, but Tarek was that real like punch away home that kind of made Galio and Hecarim not be able to do anything. So they might be trying to index back into that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see the Tristana ban here versus the Jinx we had last game.
And there goes the Tristana.
Yeah.
And GSG on their side banned 2 top laners already, the
I'm
Malphite
expecting
and
the Veigar
Mordekaiser.
ban again. I'm expecting them to just keep the same bans because there's no issues they had. Everything was fine. Like Veigar ban for third probably.
Yeah, anytime you're playing somebody with a champion in their IG end, it's usually never a bad move to ban that champ.
Yes, my one trick. Oh, they're banning the Lux app,
Oh,
so they don't want to
banning
have them
Lux.
getting the Lux. So
They
I mean, that
banned
makes...
their own. That's
Well, they
really
could have first picked the
interesting.
Lux for the mid support.
Yeah,
Flex, to be
flex.
fair.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Lux is a strong champion regardless of where she goes, just because she's so good with her binding, and then her ultimate just does damage even if you're only building support items. So I mean,
Yeah, she scales so well. Even without gold, you put her in a place with gold, she's going to be nuking your whole team with that laser.
going with the Kane
Kane
first
in
pick,
first pick.
I'm surprised by this, honestly.
I am very surprised. Let me.
It's
pull up-
definitely sounding like dive once again, but that's something MIT just really wants to do this series.
The Nocturne pickup, okay,
Double
and that wasn't
dive
even
with
like
it.
it
They
wasn't
may
even
be
like a
doing-
thought process. It was just immediately Nocturne. Like they're ready for it.
Maybe they want to prio the Shen again early. Do the Shen Nocturne like
They
could.
torpedo strategy.
That would be smart. Get the globals on there.
Mhm.
Nocturne is so hard to deal with this level. The way he just fractures your communications. You have to, when you're at this level, you're amateurs. You're not full pros. It's so hard to deal with that Nocturne shutting off all the lights. As we see a Leona coming second pick.
I
Little champ.
yeah.
I like the
personally-
Leona.
I like the
Personally.
Leona, but personally, I don't think like here me as a support player. I'm like, please don't blind me for the love of all that is holy. Don't
I can
blind
speak to
me.
that too.
Especially into a comp that you don't know what's going on. Like Leona can very well
Exactly.
just get pushed away from like
Yeah.
everything. Especially with
Yeah.
Lulu.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's
There
There it
a
is.
very unhealthy matchup for the Leona. So
I mean, are we going to be seeing like something spicy like maybe like a Kog'Maw or the Jinx?
Jinx,
with
yeah.
Lulu, Jinx with Lulu's kind of broken anyway because of the Qs. So I mean, it makes sense.
Yep.
Plus, you take it away from Nerf Smugglebutt. So I mean, what are we going to see him coming out with at this point then?
maybe. So inherently they want to dive. Now GSG is the team that wants to dive in a little bit more. I mean, they kind of wanted to last game as well with the Tristana and Zac. So maybe a Kaisa pick. I don't know how heavy.
I don't think he plays a lot of Kaisa, honestly. I feel like we could see. I mean, Ezreal maybe because he's pretty much a consistent Ezreal player with that. It's a safe pick, especially with like the Leona. You can just do damage from the back line.
Maybe
we could.
Zaya is one he likes sometimes, I think.
Zaya's not bad. Yeah, especially with the Leona stuns, you can get the other stuns out from her.
Would be like,
MF,
yeah, oh,
makes
and that,
sense, too.
I should- yeah, should have thought
Just
that one.
completely forgot about the fact that Leona MF's kind of broken with the ultimate. So
Yeah, you got a lot of team fight, just instant engage, wombo combo coming down from GSG.
exactly.
So here I think GSG was gonna probably look to ban out mid laner and a top laner, so yeah, the Ornn ban, and then on the other side, MIT is probably gonna do same thing, mid laner,
Yep,
top
Shen
laner.
top. There's a
Shen
Shen
ban, really good ban because you don't want to do the torpedo nocturne. It's not
Torpedo
fun.
That would be tough.
Not fun.
They haven't banned it yet, but that's what they're looking at right now. So,
I
mean,
would
they're covering
highly
it.
recommend.
I feel like they're going to. I feel like they're preparing themselves for the discussion of what are they going to ban next. Honestly,
Yeah.
do we have
Looks like
next ban?
it did not go through. Can we get producer word?
no, it's Shen.
Yeah,
Shen.
Shen it went.
Oh,
through.
that
It
was the
went
one,
through for
sorry.
me. Yep.
Yeah. So we're looking. Okay, Veigar ban.
There's Veigar.
Not surprising. So they opted to get. I mean, the Trundle could be a top laner. That's what they had last time. Was they had Trundle banned
Mhm.
out instead of the Lux. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was the other side. Yeah, they didn't ban out Xinjiao, and they didn't ban out Kane, which is what they grabbed this time.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense for their jungler to play Kane if he's a Kane one trick, or if he just plays a ton of them.
Yeah, it looks like.
And the Kled ban for OMG, that is a smart ban.
Is that a
honestly.
signature pick for him? I'm assuming yes.
Oh,
because-
he is an insane Kled
He
player.
is.
Okay,
He
okay.
one tricks that champion like there's no tomorrow with it. Honestly,
Kled and Rumble are both classic champs of his, which are neither magical nor.
Okay,
There's
speaking
there's
of
the
Rumble,
Rumble.
there you
There's
go.
the
Yeah.
He had OMG had a crazy highlight last week on the Kled where he pulled off a double kill on a dive against him. He did the same thing on Rumble last year.
Yep.
So definitely watch for him. He plays so well into those ganks.
I'm interested in what Crothia wants to play here. I would love to see a non-melee matchup in that top lane because
getting more
Rumble
brand. We're getting more brand,
or
guys.
more brand. Okay.
Probably going to be Brand mid as he is pretty
I
heavy
would
brand
hope
player.
it's
We already
Brand
have
mid.
Lulu.
You would
Yeah.
think it's brand mid. to be
Yeah,
fair.
you would think, but we have no clue.
Does
We're not yet.
does Crow play any Lulu top? That used to be a thing a couple of seasons ago.
It could be good in the Rumble because melee matchups for Rumble was Rumble.
Rumble's
was
going
bread
mid.
and butter.
Rumble's going mid. Yeah,
Oh,
Rumble's
it's
not going
mid.
top.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
mid-Rumble. That's
Okay.
mid-Rumble.
My bad.
Yeah.
Garen.
Okay, Garen top. Going with. Okay, I mean, I've seen weirder things top lane, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if
That's
I
a-
would blind pick the Garen, but sure.
Yeah, very Soul Q-esque champion, but you know.
I mean, if you just need him to like push on the top sides, I mean, honestly, you could just have Garen and Kayn pushing side lanes while you have the Jinx, Lulu, and Brand just sitting mid and just pushing with a 1-3-1. It would make
Yeah.
sense for it. With Kayn just having the prio, I feel like you're gonna have to go red Kayn into this matchup though. Like, there's no chance you have a blue Kayn.
Mundo.
It just wouldn't make
Mundo.
sense.
Honestly, I really like this top lane matchup for Crow. I think it's abusable. You go Stridebreaker into Mortal Reminder, and the Mundo literally can't do anything because his passive is not procced from
Yep.
the Stridebreaker slow. So you can just run at him freely. So I don't really like the Mundo pick here, but we'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, my final thought looking at this draft, I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. So GSG is indexing really into this dive, everybody pile on the Nocturne wombo combo, but with the Lulu there to wild growth the Jinx, how heavily do you think that's going to that dive? Are we going to see something similar to what the Taric did last game? GSG will be able to overcome that.
So my personal thinking is like I think the Nocturne is gonna, I agree with you, have a really rough time with the polymorph. But if MIT plays front to back with the Rumble ult and the MF ult going over top of them, if they focus that Nocturne too much, they're just gonna get shredded apart. Like, so
Yeah,
it's a weird stasis of where they have to play these team fights.
Agreed. And honestly, if Nocturne uses his shield at the right time, he's not gonna get polymorph anyway. It's gonna give him more mana. He's just gonna go ahead and just hard stomp the Jinx, honestly, at that
Yeah.
point. Or if he chooses to go on the Lulu, honestly. I mean, you can just immediately just go for the Lulu, just get her out, and then Jinx is wide open for herself. I mean, like, you have a good option of that. I think this is just, they're going to go for team fights the entire time for GSG
Yeah.
side, because you have the Rumble Ultimate 2 with that. You have Mundo who's just going to go straight in for it. You have basically three tanks.
Yeah. So it sounds like our casters are ready to load us into games. We will throw them. Guys, enjoy the match, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Again, I am Fritz. That is Michael. As we are getting into client draft, this draft looking so much better. Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely just from a ease of play standpoint, MIT having the Jinx Lulu, that just makes it so much easier to play from the get-go, but surrounding it with the Kayn Brand Garen, there is not as much peel or tankiness as I perhaps would have liked, and on the side of GSG, on the other hand, there is quite some good dive with the Nocturne and then Rumble all over top.
Yeah, like both sides, we're seeing a lot more balanced cops come out. Not so much bot-sided as it was last game. Monkeys in Training making the adjustment to try and give their team a chance. Something I don't like here, and I think Des tuned in on it a little bit, is the Mundo R5. Mundo definitely going to have a rough time in this lane, at least if it's played right, by Crow Theo.
Yeah, the passive becomes basically useless. You're never going to take CC. Yeah, because the Garen Q doesn't pop the passive, right? It's only hard CCs?
I think Garen Q... I don't know if Garen Q doesn't, but I know
Okay,
Garen
it does not.
Garen generally does build Stridebreaker first. Stridebreaker slow does
Yeah.
not proc Mundo passive. That is a fact.
Yeah.
And we saw one hand sometimes pushing... letting it get pushed into him. So I think punishing him, making him push more, maybe using wave management a little better and keeping the wave onto your turret is going to be really useful for Crow Theo this game.
And that was probably our closest matchup of all of them. It's the least gap to any member of MIT got. So definitely good to get a stable pick that you can perform well on and you can get the advantage on even in the hands of Crow Theo. But we will see how these teams fare in the continued game. And we have... We're just seeing more and more locked in. We're seeing both of our mid laners at least hovering the ignites instead of teleports like last game. So a bit more
Right.
exciting.
And I'm liking a little bit more of a bloody. I don't think OMG is going to have as good a time on this Rumble into the Brand. Brand, again, we talked about it last game, does do a lot of damage, especially with that lost chapter.
Yeah.
And a melee champion coming up, catching the Brand poke, doesn't sound like a fun time. So we're looking for Vagar or Feed and definitely Prince Sticks. Prince Sticks needs to come back, needs to mental reset on this Jinx. He could be the difference between them winning this game.
Yeah, I agree, but I think definitely for the side of MIT especially, we see that Timic is on the Nocturne. So make a gank happen, make plays happen before that level 6, before the Nocturne wants to do anything. You need to force the issue. You need to get things happening. You just need to abuse that time that you have as a Kayn. You can walk through walls at level 3 if you go for it, and maybe you go full clear and you get it level 4 or whatever, but they need to be taking advantage of that. Find a lane you can gank. Vagar or Feed might be your best bet with the stun setup. Top lane's not super easy, but definitely be interesting to see.
Yeah, again, and we're looking for a lot of monkeys in training to be looking for this wave management and looking to freeze waves. If you're forcing this Rumble and this Mundo to pop up further into the lane, Kayn is just going to have an insanely easy time ganking them. Get that fast form, get the game in your favor. Final predictions, Michael. Who is going to win this game?
Though I do like MIT's comp better in this game than their previous one, I think GSG will still be able to perform. They have the hard engage with Timic and Chubby Chernobyl, and then they have only Magical Girls and Nerf Snugglebot to pile on top of it. So definitely, I'm going with GSG again this game.
I would be inclined to agree with you. This game definitely is going to be more of a skill check with these comps. Who's going to play the early game better? Who's going to play team fights better? And with that, we are going to throw it to a break. We will come back with you once we get in game.
Don't.
Welcome back to Game 2 of ZGG IBS Finals. Again, I'm Fritz, that's Michael. We are here with GSG versus MIT. For the side of GSG, we're going to have one hand in the top lane on the Mundo, Timic in the jungle on the Nocturne, only Magical Girls on the Rumble mid, Nerf Snugglebutt on the Misfortune, and finishing off their bot lane, Chubby Chernobyl on the Leona.
And for the side of MIT, we got Crow Theo on the Garen, me on Kane, Vagar or Feed on the Brand, Print Sticks on Jinx, Sign was taken on Lulu. And that's it. I did not change the inflection of my voice correctly, but you know what? We got through it.
As long as we are getting through it, only Magical Girls walking up pretty far here. No Invade going to be coming out this time. Early wards being placed down. Again, we are looking at Kane. Thank you, Observer. Kane is going to be looking to get this early form, this early pressure for MIT. I don't see any other way they can really win this game other than just a super fed Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx is definitely what we need, what MIT needs to win the game. And also, I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure this is the case, that Nerf Snugglebutt and One Hand both did not forget items. That it is just a spectator bug, as we see our producer again showing us all of the early vision that yep, there we go. A little quick refresh, we see the items again. But GSG having those deep wards, both by the Raptors and then also one up by the blue buff. So lots of vision, being able to keep track of this Kane. And like I was talking about, this becomes extra important because Kane needs to do things before Nocturne is able to. So if you're able to...
Really, really important here, another mirrored start coming out for the junglers.
Yeah, very true as well. Going to be seeing a full clear from Nocturne. Hopefully able to secure that top scuttle, but we will see how this
Level
plays.
2 is going to be hit first for the side of GSG in the bot lane. Really important. Nocturne is looking like he's clearing a lot faster than the Kane here. Onto his Raptors already. This first scuttle, these first fights could be really important as we see a lot of heavy trading in the top lane. Crow Theo gonna queue a minion instead of the Mundo.
Yeah, definitely suboptimal. But also, talking about the first skirmish, how we want to see me ganking before, I don't think that means it's completely lost for Timic. I think Timic, with a good fear, can definitely take these 1v1s into me. So this first scuttle and contest, it's very dependent on where their lanes are. And Vagar Fee having the shove in the mid lane while Crow Theo on one hand going at it.
One hand getting aggressive. Crow Theo gonna flash out. One hand gonna flash after him as we pan away. Crow Theo 1 HP
Lives.
is gonna live, it looks like. 2 flashes come out in the top lane as we're watching the bot lane farm now.
Yeah, directed cam did it. The outcome was so obvious that it decided to hide us from seeing what's happening up there.
The top lane. Top lane not important.
Is that just how it is?
I mean,
wait, I'm looking. No, sorry. Behind one hand, like one hand's portrait on the left, as we see.
Doesn't have a flash. Fear is going to come out from Timic. This should just be first blood over to Timic in the top lane.
Very, very good for the Nocturne. We'd love to see that if you're Nocturne.
Only magical balls. Aggressive, overheating. Vigor Feed gonna land the stun in the mid lane.
Ignite's coming out.
Oh, as we see Prince have to extend his flash. Chubby Chernobyl was going to land the E.
So much.
Why is everyone flashing?
Yeah, so much happening right now. We see fights across the map, and it looks like almost across the board, it's GSG coming out on top. And not
really important here.
And your Jinx not having the flash.
Not having the flash and being 1 HP as we see me gonna gank, get some soul orbs in the mid lane. Magical Girl's gonna trade some damage back. He's probably just gonna go heal that. There might be a skirmish around bot scuttle here. Really important. Me does not have bot prio.
Yeah, this is the bot lane coming up from GSG. Me has to get out of there. Cannot contest this. And Timic able to continue the full clear. Just get further and further ahead. But what I was trying to bring up while we don't have too much intense action, it's just a little bit of trading my Crothia on one hand. If you see one hand's portrait on the side, it doesn't actually have a solid background like the other ones do. You can see through it when it goes to lighter. You can see the light come through. As we don't go to the lighter now because I'm trying to bring it up, so we just see these two sitting on a ward. And they get spotted out, and they'll see the ward die. See, yeah, you can see the background through one hand's thing. Oh,
Both
it is the
Theo-
top laners. No mana, so maybe that's it. Oh, Rumbles is fine. It's weird. Little things happening.
It's because Rumble doesn't have mana, guys.
Oh, Rumble has a second bar though. No mana, but it has a second resource. So maybe that's it. But
Very aggressive trading still in the top lane.
Yeah.
Both top laners are going to be half health as we spent a very long time on that conversation. Nurse Snugglebot is going to be up already with a decent CS gap in this bot lane. Prince Stick falling behind yet again. Not what we wanted to see, as we do start seeing the level 6s come out first in the mid lane for the Rumble. Rumble's very, very huge 14 fights. Maybe could leverage this into a first Drake, but both junglers are topside.
yeah, both junglers are topside, and if we take a look at our XP, Timic is still a bit off of the level 6.
Big
Let's
RP
see.
is going to start
Yeah,
landing
Timic
now.
very close, but not quite there. Just ticks over, stealing some XP away from one hand. But with me also there, definitely not the fight they want to take. So now, Timic taking the recall so they can use that ultimate wherever they please.
Jinx did, speaking of which, just start to kind of close the gap on that CS. Really important here is MF is building lethality. If we can get this MF behind and get a couple kills on her, she's going to be behind for the rest of the game. Building
Yeah.
lethality and falling behind, you can never, ever get back into the game.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see if you are Nerf Snugglebutt. But with this even lane, and now with the Nocturne hitting 6, Prince Stick still no flash for another minute or so. Needs to be very, very careful down here.
And we do see the trades coming out for the top lane. Crow Theo proving what we said in Champ Select, that this Garen should be able to steamroll at least the trades. As we see Championship Noble going to roam mid again, second game in a row, and Ignite going to come down. Rumble's going to land, Magical Girl's going to flash forward, so is Championship Noble. Magical is going to secure the kill. Great roam. As we see Kane looking to re-engage, but Timic with the R, going to jump on. Kane's going to get the kill, and he's going to get instantly traded out with the Kane R under turret. Going to die to only Magical Girls.
That play reeked of desperation, and it, oh my! I thought Nerf Snugglebutt was 6 and about to let it rip, but that play from me reeked of desperation, trying so hard to get something to happen. And even if Timic wasn't trying to go in, the vision denial from the Nocturne ultimate huge. But with me going in, able to get a free kill onto them.
I feel like a lot of this is coming down to we are still just thinking about game one. How far we were behind, how desperate we were to make plays. Nerf Snugglebot's gonna walk up. Prince Sticks is low. He's got the level 6, gonna let it rip. Directed camera again goes away. Prince Sticks looks like he's gonna live with 1 HP as we are now watching basic trading in the top lane.
Yeah, Director Cam really just doesn't want us to see these close escapes. Just only if there's a kill does it keep us there. But now, Nerf Snugglebutt in the 1v2. Championship Noble took the roam to the mid lane, made it work, and now Nerf Snugglebutt's getting the push in by themselves.
A little bit lesser talked about R in this game has been Kane R. Kane with this R unlocked. You really want to be looking to make a lot of these ganks happen, and we're just not seeing the pressure coming out from this Kane.
Yeah, it's very hard to actually get something off. Should be going the Rust this game. I really hope it's going the Rust. We see the Red Smite, Conqueror, and Gore Drinker being built, but like that's never stopped people before. But should be the Rust coming out, and ganking these the top side of the map should make that a bit easier, but still not making much happen. So not getting many of those orbs.
Right, like we said, we really want this aggression to come out from someone on MIT. We need this early pressure. It looks like we're just handshaking everywhere, and they're falling behind because of it. As we see Timic gonna ult into the top lane. Garen running away, flashes out. One hand, gonna land the slow with the flash. Timic gonna secure the kill in the top lane. 2-0 on this Nocturne. 4-1 for GSG. Already a 1.5k Big B gold advantage coming out for GSG.
Yeah, the Big B gold advantage growing, and the Rumble and the Nocturne being fed. We talked about how Jinx is the carry, the pivotal point for MIT's comp, the part that they need to get ahead. Nocturne and Rumble make that really hard. It's really hard to live with the Nocturne, Rumble, and Leona all trying to kill you, and they don't really have all too much else to worry about. Brand will become a problem, but not for the moment.
Yeah, and that's another lane I'm slightly sad to see. I really think Brand could have punished this Rumble more, and we just didn't get that level of play coming out As we do see, Rift Herald is going to be taken in the top side by Timic. I would be looking personally to put this in the bot or mid lane. One hand already having a fine time in lane. Especially when a lot of our damage is going to be from this lethality MF.
Yeah, lethality MF doing most of your AD damage. The Nocturne will fall off a little bit in the damage front, but just some meatball smacking around in the top lane, not too much happening. We can see where Nocturne decides to bring their talents with the Rift Herald, but oh, ultimate popped.
One hand going to be looking to run him down as we do see the ultimate pop, but Crotheo gonna pop the Demacian Justice?
Like that.
Don't quote me on that.
Oh!
He yelled for Demacia and he made him explode as we see Leona is going to land the stun. Oh my god, the polymorph on the Snugglebutt. Re-engage going to come in from the Kane. Kane ult. Timic going to ult into the bot lane. Kane's going to be stunned up. Still nearsighted. They cannot help him. Timic going to go on a killing spree. That was almost just an insane polymorph. I don't feel like Kane needed to engage there.
Yeah, definitely engaging to scare off, and I did not think that that Lulu was in the range, but that was just too close from the Jinx, and now, such a good equalizer.
6 almost dies. Simon's taking his 1 HP.
Oh.
Only Magical Girls with the snipe, and they're going to engage on the Prince Sticks, and Prince Sticks is dead. No trade coming out. Chubby Chernobyl going to live with 1 HP.
And this is the Rift
Brand walking down to look, maybe to make something happen.
Needs to be wary.
Does need to be careful as Leona walks away with 1 HP. Kane searching for this Leona. Timic going to try and engage, but he's going to get sent back as this bot tower is going to fall. And this is almost up to 3,500 Big V gold advantage already. We're 12 minutes into the game. It looks like we're still just bleeding out from game 1.
Kane is still poking their head around, and yeah, MIT not able to reset as we take a look again at this bot play. Kane in so deep, and the Nocturne all separating from the rest of the team makes me a free kill, and then Rumble, starting the way down, will end up getting such a good equalizer, cutting them off from the retreats. Cutting them off, so here's Rumble now, and this, though not a perfect equalizer, pretty dang good. Makes it so they can't go back, makes it so they have to walk forward, and just so close. Only Magical takes a kill, and Prince Sticks gets taken down by Nerf Snugglebutt.
And this is a really huge play coming out from OMG and Timic. Really putting the team on their back right now. Nerf Snugglebutt not the star of attention as usual. You see me starts out the Drake. Timic's going to engage onto the Kane. Smite not coming out from anyone. Timic's going to get the Drake.
Oh
and
no.
She's going to clean up the fight. We're at 3-0 right now. MFO going to come out to finish off the Brand. Did no one have Smite up?
I guess not. Neither jungler offsets Smite, but at the end of the day, Dragon and 4 kills go over to GSG, and this game, minute by minute, is just looking worse. So you have the Lethality MF getting these kills early. You have the Nocturne so accelerated, the Rumble so accelerated. Sure, one hand's getting beat in the 1v1. That doesn't matter. The Garen is not going to be able to make the difference without the rest of the team being able to do anything.
You see bot lanes rotating up. Me looking to get some poke on a Chubby Chernobyl is going to walk out. Kane, really importantly, 14 minutes still not on that form.
Trying to rival Spica's time. Hopefully getting it before the end of the game, but with the pace that GSG is bringing, it might be a little difficult.
And theoretically, he also, with as much as he's been bot lane, there is a slight chance he unlocked blue form and has to wait for Ross to come through.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very unfortunate. As a Kane player, I've been there, trust me. Huge CS gaps coming out in the bot lane and the jungle.
The Force also right there, like Kane desperate for these orbs, willing to just make the run for a single slice onto Chubby Chernobyl.
If you're not soft inting on Kane for form, you're not playing Kane.
Yeah, let's hope it stays soft though, but one hand still trading up in the top lane. Crotheo still getting the better end of it.
Now, what are we looking for GSG to finish this game? As we see Mia's just going to get caught out again. Ours onto Nerf Snugglebutt. Timic's going to stand there and protect him as we see the engage from OMG and Chubby Chernobyl onto their backline. Kane going to get blown up. Jinx going to get blown up. Only Magical Girls looking to finish off this. Lulu going to get slowed. Ignite going to come out, and only Magical Girls with the double kill. 6-0 on this Rumble mid.
another 3 kills coming out for GSG, and this will be the mid turret as well. Brand, good for MIT, is pushing on the bottom lane, might get some chip onto the turret, but not quite getting through it all. Needs to recall to protect from a further push.
If you're MIT, you're just hemorrhaging gold at this point.
Yeah.
Gold advantage almost up to 10k at 15 minutes into the game. This game's looking almost over, almost closed and shut. Match point GSG. I don't know what MIT can do here, Michael.
I mean, I think one of the best things they can do is, since it doesn't seem they were able to from last game, they need to get a mental reset. If it takes just playing the rest of this game for fun, so be it. This game is looking pretty lost anyways, but you need to be able to come into the next game with a clear head, with your best intents ready, and with you in a position where you are mentally able to come to a victory.
Yeah, and only Magical Girls and Timic playing so well, they need to find a way to shut down this mid jungle. They need to catch these shutouts. His one hand is just, we don't get to see any of it because directed camera still doesn't care about top lane. How does that happen?
Yeah, Crothia was having such a good time in lane in one hand. Oh, one hand actually had the back early. I guess just teleported up with the completed Warden's Mail and Frozen Fist. Crothia didn't even have the Stride Breaker, and so just the pure item advances. That stack chat really made it for one hand. And now, second Rift Herald going over to GSG, which should be without contest.
Should be without contest. If you're MIT, I'm holding out until Soul Point. I'm farming as much as I can, as we do see me finally with a Ross gonna miss his W, engage onto one hand. One hand starting to trade back.
Oh,
me,
no,
gonna get 5-man engage down, caught out again. Chubby Chernobyl misses the R. He's gonna hit the 4-man Ross W. Goes in, heals a lot, but he cannot heal that much damage. GSG gonna kill the jungler for the 5th time this game. 7-0 on this Rumble mid. Only Magical Girls putting on a clinic.
They're 5 here, and they have the Rift Herald. They could break in him here, but Crothio.
Oh, Crothio gonna one-shot Timic, and then gonna get, in return, one-shot.
That's not only a huge shutdown, but that's also the Rift Herald denied. They do not have the Rift Herald to drop here. And with 30 seconds until this Hex Check drag spawns, this should be at least a turret going over for Prince Sticks, and a sign was taken.
I love this buy from Timic with the Axiom Arc.
Yeah.
Gonna be dark all around the map on repeat. Prince Sticks gonna get this objective bounty in the bot lane. Gotta be careful. We all know how powerful objective bounties are, one at a time.
Yeah, they will have to recall after this, so this should just be soul points going over towards GSG. And if we take a look at the gold graph, only Crothio's making it close. The rest of them are getting smoked by the whole team. Timic is so insanely fed.
2k gold difference in the bot lane. I can't even count that much of a gold difference in the mid lane. This game's looking all but Nexus exploded for GSG.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get another Bush Garen stealing a kill away, it could help a little bit, but you need to do that like 20 times if you want to get a lead. So a little difficult for MIT to pull together.
If I'm MAT, I'm looking at this Rumble and salivating. I see 1k gold. The only difference is this team is just rotating so well. How do you isolate this Rumble? How do you isolate the 1v1?
Well, hopefully the Rumble matches you in the top lane. If you're Crothio, you just hope that you can stat check this Rumble. But with the Zanias, and also with the Leona Misfortune coming up, you have to get out of there.
Crothio gonna TP
the
out.
Needed.
Nurse Snugglebot and Chubby Chernobyl caught on vision walking up the river. As we are looking poised in the bot lane with 4 members strong for MIT, I would be looking for this 20-minute Baron. We have vision in the bot side. We know where all these people are. And if I'm GSG, I'm so far ahead, I have no fear starting a fight.
Yeah, and you also have the Rift Herald. You can force MIT to go where you need. Timic having the Rift Herald, looking for a lane to put it in, probably will place it down and force MIT's attention away from the Baron.
If I'm MIT, I don't even know what I do. Crothio gonna engage, gonna see all the people come out of the bushes. What do you do? Slowed from the Misfortune. Damage is gonna start coming out Only Magical Girls. Timid's gonna ult onto the Kane. Kane into the ult. Again, just way too deep. Gonna go back in. One shot by Only Magical Girls with the ult. You just need to hop on Baron as Jinx ult is gonna narrowly miss
That was so
Timic.
close.
Frame by frame. They're gonna push out mid. Look to drop this Herald maybe.
Yeah, they should drop the Herald. Then they can peel right off and go Baron as sign was taken. Dead again.
Yeah, this game is just looking so done. Nothing you can do. This team just has so much damage and they're so far ahead. Again, 2 items coming out in the mid jungle and ADC. Barely 1 item completed for everyone on MIT. However, Prince 6 has closed the farm gap in the bot lane. That's 1 solace, 1 silver lining as me looking for a W, fishing for some form engage, some form of Hail Mary fight.
Their turret taken by Mundo in the bottom lane, so second lane being pushed and pressure being taken off the mid lane, so they might just be able to steal away this inhib at the end of the day.
Stealing away this inhib could potentially be decent for MIT. Prince 6 going to be able to farm up those super minions, get some extra gold in the pocket. Lane always going to be pushed, but these lanes are all pushed anyways. And there's a lot of damage coming behind those waves. Again,
Yeah.
still a 1k shutdown in the mid lane for this Rumble.
Yeah, and GSG intelligently taking it back with all their members. Hopefully sign was taken, doesn't walk up a bit too far and get 1 shot. Okay. Everyone makes it back. No kills to be had. But 100 seconds until the dragon, and it looks like where GSG is going to be putting their attention. Hextech Soul again. Hopefully they don't trade for Baron this time.
Hextech Soul still the highest win rate soul as Chubby Chernobyl is going to stun up Crotheo. Crotheo going to hit the Q and dash. Chubby Chernobyl going to miss the E. We see a lot of people topside around this Baron. It looks like Baron is going to be started up for MIT. The Hail Mary coming out. There's no vision on it.
Yeah, no
for
vision.
GSG.
They have no idea. Only Magical Girls walking to mid. Will they even go top to the Baron?
Crotheo baiting. The Baron's at 5,500. They're
This is
going to
just
take
Baron.
this. No vision coming out. We're repeating the same play, and GSG is not expecting it. Huge pickup for the side of MIT. Will it be enough?
Yeah, I mean, if not else, that is Baron. That is an objective bounty claim. That is just a lot more time where GSG has to push through Baron minions instead of regular minions.
And they're
And
not
now-
even trading it necessarily. They can
Yeah.
still come back and fight Soul.
Yeah, they could still
No.
fight for the soul.
Oh, the Death Bush coming out from GSG. This entire jungle dark for
Oh,
MIT.
no.
Are they going to expect this?
Oh, no.
Me 2000 leading the charge. Sees all 5 of them on the sweeper. The engage is going to come out with that.
no!
The people instantly dead. As they're going to... He's going to go on a Kano, but what can you do? You cannot heal through this. We're going to run down mid lane. We're going to end the game.
They had Baron, man, and they just all walk into the Death Bush. They don't even need soul. They'll still go take it, because
20
It's the right
seconds
thing
left
to
on
do.
the death timers across the board. We're going to send 2 to Drake. We're going to take this turret. One hand going to tank it. They might not be able to end, but they can do a lot of damage.
hey, if nothing else, they deny the Baron from GST for another 5 minutes.
This is hard to watch. It's painful.
Yeah. I mean, at least you
Jinx
can feel good about... Oh, wow, that would have killed only Magical Girls.
Almost one shots Magical Girls, misses it just barely. That might have taken the Drake as well.
Yeah, that was almost a good. But now, Hextech Soul onto MIT, and
It's a
onto
9K
GSG.
9k Big B gold advantage for the side of GSG. This game is just...
Yeah.
It's rough. It's hard.
Hard for sure. And with these backs coming out from GSG, they're going to be able to pick up items and make it all the more harder. All that it takes is 1 Rumble ult, 1 Nocturnal, and that's a 1-shot on Sprint Sticks or Veigar or Feed. They just
see
do
the-
not have the stats.
We see the Collector coming out and the fully stacked Mana Minion for Nerf Snuggle, but definitely going to be dealing a lot of damage with this R.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said earlier, if I'm MIT, I'm just looking to for fun this game to mental reset.
And I mean, they're not even completely for funning, but that Baron was very good, and that is it's a good sneak and a good sign of hope for them, where they know they can make good plays. They just need to not already be 8K behind when they're trying to make that play.
I 100% agree. 8K behind is going to be really rough for them to deal with. Yeah, we've been saying it for about 10 minutes now. This game just looks all but over for
Producer.
GSG.
Highlighting that the collector was finished by Nerf Snugglebutt, watching them strut all the way to what should be the blue base, making it happen. Grouping as 4 for GSG in the bottom lane, one hand in the top with teleport.
Yeah, production really taking some interest in this specific champion skin. Could only guess as to why. As we see, me 2000 gonna hit the W on Chubby Chernobyl.
Oh
Throwing him
no!
down. Timid gonna engage onto Prince Six.
Oh my
Prince
gosh,
Six
there's so much
almost dead.
damage!
They're gonna force him off. Prince Six doesn't die, but Sign was taken, and me are going to. So much damage coming through as we're gonna push through the mid lane. This should be the game for GSG and match point.
Yeah, should be match point, should be the game, and I mean, even more convincing than the last. We'll see as that
Only
wasn't
Magical
good.
Girls with the random flash. I don't even see where Prince Sticks went. Big R feed. Magical Girls under the turret. Crotheo gonna take one with him, but he is also gonna die. Only Magical Girls also gonna die. Nerf Snugglebutt lives with 1 HP. Almost a miracle play, but not quite enough. Too little, too late for the side of MIT.
Simon was
As we're
taking kills
hoping
Nerf Snugglebutt.
Oh my god, with the flash forward! One hand looking to end the game. Are we gonna be able to stop this? Polymorph coming out on one hand and the exhaust. Me 2000 trying to do something, do anything, stop this Mundo from autoing. Mundo's gonna keep headbutting. I don't even know. It polymorphed again. What is this? What is happening?
God, Mundo's
We're watching
healing.
Ring Around the Rosie. Mundo passive back up as another wave's gonna come in. He flashes
Prince
the
Six is
W.
here.
Prince Six is up. Can't polymorph and he's dead. The game isn't over.
The game continues. Me, Prince Six, and Sign was are able to take down the raid boss that is Dr. Mundo and save their game for another like 2 minutes.
Mundo gonna get his, or not Mundo, Me is gonna get his first kill of the game. Huge, as some would say. Still 0-5 on this Jinx though. 2 items completed. It's rough here. We're looking at Elder or Bust for the side of MIT.
Yeah, definitely need an Elder flip, but this is a Baron in 50 seconds for the side of GSG. One hand doesn't have the teleport, so it'll be late to join the fray, but there are a lot of other threats, even when one hand isn't there.
MIT needs to win like at least 7 coin flips in a row of just heads, heads to get back into this game.
Not
The gold
statistically
advantage is
possible.
actually not as big as you would think.
Yeah,
Only
definitely.
6K.
Definitely able to pick up some gold, and that's definitely from that last play where they were able to get a lot of shutdowns. So now Crotheo finding
Crotheo
Chubby
in a little bit
Chernobyl.
of danger. Gonna get stunned up by Chubby Chernobyl. Gonna engage, but he doesn't know Nurse Snugglebutt's here. Snugglebutt gonna start autoing. Crotheo down to about half health. Baron is up in 6 seconds. If you're GSG, you're looking to hop on this as soon as possible. No vision for MIT.
Vision at all.
This is gonna be the game-ending fight. They're gonna start up Baron. Interesting enough, one hand not here yet. Me gonna walk through river, start spotting out these wards. Cannot quite see the health of Baron. It's already gone. Ult gonna come out. Timic onto the back line.
Oh my
Huge
gosh.
MF ult. The entire team disappears. Triple kill going over to only Magical Girls, and that's gonna be game for GSG with the open Nexus.
Yeah.
This is going to take the series to match point GSG. MIT is going to have to look to come back in game 3. I don't... This game went so much longer than it should have.
Yeah, it went longer. I mean, just look at the scores of Only Magical Girls and Nerf Snugglebutt. 16-1 and 10 from Only Magical Girls and 10-1-16 from Nerf Snugglebutt. Insane mirrored scores, just insane from them. As we see Fritz not actually watching the game, just it has the cameras on the other side of the Oculus or whatever, can see the game, but regardless, great showing from DSG. MIT needs to mental reset, and that's
They
the biggest
definitely
thing.
do need a mental reset, and I'm using these to censor. I have just so many different... I'm more evolved, essentially. I have all
Okay.
my extra senses. These help me condense everything. As for MIT, we really do need to be looking to reset our mentals. This game, it looked like we were just tilted so early on, making bad plays, me getting caught out just a couple times on that Kane, not being able to get the early pressure he wanted. It's looking rough. I'm going to keep it honest.
Yeah, definitely looking rough, and it'll be exciting to see. But for now, we will pass it over to a break before we hop over to the analyst desk once again.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the ZGG Analyst Desk after yet another dominating victory by the goons of GSG Iota. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to me in that game was Only Magical Girls on Rumble, his biggest signature pick. He has had a total of one death this entire series so far. And it came at the MIT Nexus when GSG almost. What does MIT do to stop this guy? What do they need to do to shut him down?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe camp him. Maybe pray that their starting mid laner shows up in the next 15 minutes here. I don't know. He's just having incredible performance both on the Lux and the Rumble. It just seems a little dire at this point. I don't know if Veigar Feed has any picks to capitalize on punishing him.
I think at this point you just kind of give up on mid lane. You just try and like force bot lane, force top lane. Just give mid something he can just farm on. Make sure that he doesn't like just uber feed, and he should be okay. But honestly, at this point with OMG, he's played Rumble, he's played Lux, and he's stomped lane both times. Like lane hasn't been an issue for him. Like even jumping into like the entire enemy team, he's good to go for it. And like I said, he only has 1 death for the entire series so far, and he's the only person with 1 death currently for the entire series. Chubby is around there, Snugglebutt's close to it, but like 1 death is insane for 2 matches where you're looking at 34 kills for the side of GSG in this last game, and then the first game they literally had 22 kills. So it's not like they're hiding from fights. They're purposefully getting as many fights as they can to get those KDAs up, to get as much as they can in terms of pressure.
Yeah, those early skirmish fights is something that GSG jungler grab the action early, and you mentioned focusing other lanes. You know, Timic went top lane so much, even into that tank versus tank matchup. He got early kill last game and this game on that Nocturne. And speaking of some of those Nexus fights, there were a bit of scary moments where GSG almost ended and then got put back. Do you think GSG could have ended the game?
I mean, I inherently, yeah, it feels bad giving away those shutdowns, but at that point, the gold lead was so insurmountable that I don't think it would have really mattered, as we saw.
I would agree. I think they were going for just trying to get the game finished out and just not worrying about like pushing it farther than it had to be.
Yeah, makes sense. We've got a couple replays queued from that game. Production, if you guys can throw up the first one there. This is from Chubby Chernobyl roaming up to mid, something he's done both games pretty well so far.
Yeah, and even it looks like they didn't really talk about it at the first, but like Chubby, I think flashing here was a mistake. But even so, like OMG had no issues just destroying him with damage, and then you see the King going in, gets Chubby, but Nocturne's right there with him the entire time, ready to stop him from getting anything more. And then he ends up getting under the tower and takes another tower shot as well with that.
Yeah, and I just think inherently it shows the versatility of Chubby. He knows when he can roam, and he knows when his AD carry is safe, and it just snowballs leads mid lane. It happened game 1, and now it's happening game 2. So it's really impressive.
Yeah, both those mid roams by Chubby, those were some of the moments where GSG's leads opened up. And now we got yet another replay to go up to. You can throw us into that one.
Okay, so this was my replay to look, because like I inherently mentioned that this top lane matchup was really heavily in Garen favored. As we can see, he won he was winning top side early game, and that's what we expected. But again, doesn't really matter when your bot side throws the game at 10, 15 minutes. So it feels bad for Crow there.
Yeah, and speaking of that bot lane matchup, talking about draft like we did after the first game, MIT elected to go for a Jinx Lulu here, thinking the Lulu would protect the Jinx, and GSG kind of countered with kind of a kill lane of Misfortune and Leona. And do you think that draft really played into how GSG was able to get that lead on their carries?
Oh, for sure. They drafted the Mundo. They said, "Good luck, friend. We'll see you at the Nexus," and it played out exactly how they wanted it to.
Yeah. Now we've got another replay. Shortly after that last solo kill, this is like Taco was just saying. GSG is saying, "Good luck in top lane. We are going to go all out for this bot lane."
And this is, I think, showing just Rumble's innate power of just his ultimate alone, just almost taking out the both of them under tower.
Yeah, inherently this play started as like a 3v3 with, I believe, Kane dying earlier in the skirmish, and then just an amazing roam by Rumble. He stacks the mid wave, which is such a Giga Chad move. He's like, "I don't care about CS, I'm going for kills." Roam's bot says goodbye Jinx Lulu, and then it was just goodnight Sweet Prince for them there. So great roam by OMG again. I think I don't know for Wingman or Winston here, but I know who I'm voting for Game 2 MVP here.
Yeah,
I would agree
too, with that absolutely gaudy stat line. And something I wanted to mention right before that replay started is again where the Kane went in, almost just like we saw in that very first play. Timic was right there, shadowing the other jungler, and when Kayn went in, he triggered the Nocturne ultimate on the Kayn to end up right on top of him as the Kayn hopped on top of the carry. So the Kayn was just dead by the time the ultimate popped. Yeah, one last topic. Late in the game, after excuse me, after MIT stays that successful, or a little before this successful base defense, they were able to go over and sneak the Baron completely. They did, however, give up vision on that soul, which ended up costing them as they walked into that face check that got them wiped. Do you think sneaking that Baron was a good move with them being down gold, or should they maybe have indexed into that soul vision?
Inherently, I think it was a smart play because kind of at that point it was just like desperation mode, like we gotta get things, and they did sneak it successfully, which was nice. I am really confused on why they even like continued walking in there because Kayn went into the red buff wall, saw all 5 on the sweeper, and they're like, you know what? Let's continue walking forward into the Rumble MF Wombo combo team comp. That's a great idea. And like there, I honestly think they could have ended the game if they just full 5-man down mid instead of like Rumble doing the Baron. If you just have him clear the waves and then the game's over. And I think Winsome called it in our chat. It was like, this is a sub 25-minute game, which it should have been if they ended right there. But you know, it's IBS. So
yeah, I think the Rumble not pushing mid while they were getting the soul honestly killed them. But at the same point in time, it's like if you're MIT, you don't go for that soul. There's no point. You have no vision. You know they're all there. Like there's nobody on the map. You know where they're at. They're in that dragon pit waiting for you. So at that point, you just get your waves pushed out because you have the Baron empowered minions at that point. Just push them out. Don't let them get pushed any farther. But instead, you have Kayn going in, dies immediately, and then it's a 4v5, and you can't win those.
Yep.
Especially with the and so as we go into this next game, any last things you guys want to say? Things you think MIT might do draft differently just to give them an edge?
I hope and pray they find something different. Because both of these strategies haven't worked.
At this point, just throw some weird stuff in, yeah.
Welcome back to the booth. I am Fritz, again joined by Michael. Game 3, GSG on match point, as we are already into the draft. What does MIT need to change, Michael? What is their last-ditch hope, their last-ditch effort, as we are going to see a B1 Tristana coming out for them?
Their last-ditch hope, last-ditch effort? Maybe create clear battle lines, or create a clear lane that's easy to gank with a jungler that can gank and can easily snowball and help your team win the game. But instead, we see the Tristana locked in first pick and matched by the Jinx by GSG.
And again, I don't really feel like Jinx is all that great of a pick into Tristana. It feels like we're just eagling sticks at this point.
Yeah,
saying,
I mean,
we know it's not a good lane. We don't care.
Yeah, it definitely could be part of it. And then we see a Maokai, however, which I hope's not locked in, but knowing people in this league, it's probably going to be locked in. And so we're probably going to be a Maokai support, and I'm going to hate my life and hate casting this game because Maokai is such a disgusting champion.
Again, Michael and ADC main. Weakest role in the game is we see an extremely strong lane coming out from MIT. Tristana Nautilus, huge for them. And they did also change up their bans this game, taking out the Terra, because we are finally going to get to see the Veigar coming through on the B3.
I think that's a very nice change for them. I mean, this first phase for them is very good. You have a clear Tristana Nautilus. They can go in, they can kill the Jinx. You have a Veigar, your mid laner's namesake, a very easy to gank, a very stable, or what should be a very stable mid lane champion. I think that's a great way to start your draft.
Now, I'm just saying, in this one, that's not what I wanted to see. Vex, a really good pick for them. Veigar's biggest counter, of course, is the Katarina. Would love to see her come through.
Yeah, nobody respectable plays that champion.
Oh, well, that seems like a shot directly at me, but we're going to ignore that as we get into the ban phase. Xin Zhao going to be banned for the side of GSG. Pretending like I'm not crying, a little bit of tears inside over here. Trundle going to again be banned for the side of MIT, really hating on that champion. What are we looking for the top side of MIT to kind of round off this comp?
Honestly, I'm not very sure. For MIT, they definitely need some more tanks. They need some clearer engage. Obviously, Nautilus is good and all, but you need some other members that can actually enable the Nautilus and perhaps peel a bit more for the Veigar and Tristana. Obviously, you have the Vex, who's going to be trying to get onto this backline. I mean, if the single Shadow Surge or something lands onto the Tristana or Veigar, that should just be them one shot. So you need to do something that can take that ability, or just save your Tristana and Veigar. And like we mentioned in the pregame, we see Olaf.
Olaf, again, with those changes coming through, I love the Sejuani pick here, though. Sejuani, very good for their team. Olaf can be able to break through it. And the Gnar, very, very strong team fight comp coming out for
There's
MIT.
the peel, and there's the tank that I was talking about.
Huge coming out from MIT. Again, just picking Michael's brain in pregame. We can't show you guys, though. If I'm GSG, I'm looking for some form of counter engage here. This team has a lot of dive, a lot of zone control with the Veigar, Nautilus, Sejuani. We need to find something to keep them off of us here.
Yeah, it feels so weird, especially after you lock in the Olaf. Kale is interesting. I think it could work, especially if you get like a super fed Olaf, then you just slap a Kale ult on top.
I mean, I don't want to spread too much hopium here, but really looking like MIT hard-won draft here. Great, very textbook draft coming out for MIT. There could be a shred. There could be a single dying light left. This is all going to come down to, I think, this Olaf and how well he plays the early game.
Yeah, definitely see if the Olaf can snowball the early game effectively, but also, has MIT had their sit down? Have they had like a cup of coffee, take a walk, go to the bathroom, whatever? Have they been able to calm down? And are they going into this game from a level footing where it actually matters? Or will they be going into the game already tilted out of their mind and already in a losing position before anyone has stepped out of base?
Right, and that's kind of what we saw going into the first game. Now, we really do need to see that mental reset, that drive to win. How much do you want to be here? How hard have you worked to keep going even when it gets hard, even when it gets tough?
Yeah.
If I'm the Sejuani, I'm looking to put this Kale far behind as I can. Gnar should be able to hard dominate this lane, especially in the early levels with that W proc going off on a melee Kale. This could be a very easy lane for him to gank.
Yeah, I mean, it should be super easy to blow the flash, and then you just keep repeating ganking for another 5 minutes until that flash comes up. And then you could just burn it again, but makes it all the easier and should be a point of contention because we know that Kale needs to scale. We know Jinx needs to scale. We have 2 lanes that are very strong and should be able to contest their lane opponents very well. And then Veigar should be able to stay safe against the Vex, I think.
Yeah, and Veigar is going to be playing very safe, but Tristana Nautilus, obviously a very aggressive lane. You could also look to play around that bot side of the map. Keep your Tristana safe from this Olaf. Look for counter ganks. Look to get this Tristana ahead, and let the rest of your map just play in scale. Gnar's going to come into those team fights later with the Mega Gnar ults. Going to be huge, as we are getting into the client draft now.
Yeah, we're getting to the client draft, and I mean, it's all what we'll see. We'll be able to see if they get any fancy summoner spells, but not expecting anything too insane. We might see Jinx bringing in exhaust this game. I mean, against the Tristana, it's very nice and could help the Jinx stay alive and perhaps scale, but otherwise we need to see a TP for the Kale. Otherwise, it's going to be very rough for one hand.
Again, could be insanely rough for one hand. Putting himself in that little bit of a losing matchup. This is going to be the game, if any, where Monkeys in Training can really show off that they do deserve to be here. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing GSG and locking in their champions. Only Magic Rose is opting for Ignite, so is opting to push for something in this matchup, push for kills, make something happen, but we'll see if that's possible.
Something interesting, I do think Veigar can get the early shove on Vex. Vex is such a mana-hungry champion, and some of those cooldowns are actually fairly large. If he gets the push, he could maybe take Predator here. Actually, he opts to switch to the Ignite.
Ooh.
Interesting enough. This could be a bloody mid lane, or they're going to handshake it again. Who knows?
Yeah, I think for talking more onto the jungles, we talked about how Me wants to just camp this Kale, but for Timic, I think once you hit 6, Veigar's an easy lane to gank. You can obviously just walk through the box and it doesn't matter at all. But you should be able to counter engage the Tristana, because Tristana is going to try to go, and Tristana and others are going to be what I think is permanently going in. But if you were there as Olaf, you should be able to kill him quite easily.
Ideally, obviously, Olaf slows coming out huge. And I do kind of want to talk more about these Olaf changes. With the shield on W, I have already seen it in action. The shield is huge. definitely makes or breaks those really close fights that Olaf is kind of known for. And then he can stack a Death Dance or maybe even Hysterics with that. Olaf could just be a machine in this game.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how this Olaf plays out and see if it can bring GSG to their finals victory. But Monkeys in Training, they have a very solid comp. We like it. We like how it works together. We like all the parts and pieces. But can they actually overcome their mental and take a game off of GSG and push the series the distance?
And pushing the series this distance would be quite a spectacle. We've already seen great runs coming out this playoff, specifically from Super Best Friends Club, running the gauntlet all in one night. And I would love to see something amazing like a reverse sweep happen. That would be a story for the ages. As we are going to get into a spectator delay, so we are going to throw it to a break. We will come back once we are in game. Don't go anywhere. Match point GSG Iota. Welcome back to the third game of ZGG IBS Finals, GSG Iota versus Monkeys in Training. It is going to be match point for GSG with one hand in the top lane on the Kale, Timic on the Olaf, only Magical Girls on the Vex, Nerf Snugglebutt on the Jinx, and Chubby Chernobyl on the Maokai.
And for the side of MIT, we have Crothio on the Gnar, me on Sejuani, Veigar, Orpheed on the Veigar, Prince Sticks and Prince Sticks and Sign was taken rounding out the bot lane with Tristana and Nautilus. And like you mentioned in the draft, it is Veigar Orpheed going for the Predator, so looking for potentially some roams.
Yeah, Veigar Feed could potentially have a hard time getting the push onto Vex. It really does kind of just depend on how they decide to play that lane out as far as wave management. What I'm more interested in is the tier start from this Veigar.
Yeah, I'm not that big a fan.
I'm not either. We saw it earlier on the Gallia. I don't really think Archangels is that great of an item, personally. No. Not something I enjoy building. As we see, Sign was taken, gonna miss the hook onto Chubby Chernobyl. Chubby gonna look to come up and get a ward. Prince Six not gonna be able to auto it fast enough. Sign was taken, not standing close enough.
Yeah.
Caster, thankfully, not zooming in on the ward for 2 games in a row. Good to go on that, and I should not have said anything.
Yeah, come on, you spoke it into existence.
Red buff is gonna be started up for me 2200. Olaf starting on the blue buff, surprisingly. Pretty sure Olaf's a red side jungler, but that could just be me.
Yeah.
So for these lanes, how are you looking for this game to play out as far as bot lane?
You know, judging from what I've seen so far from Sign, they're going to try to go in the whole time, and it's on Nerf Snugglebutt and Chubby Chernobyl to survive, and especially Chubby Chernobyl, no escapes, no real tool to get out of anything that might happen. So especially with the shove coming through for Prince Sticks because of that Tristana E passive, easy shove, easy quick level 2, and so Chubby Chernobyl and Nerf Snugglebutt need to be careful.
Only Magical Girls is going to get the early push onto the Veigar. Crothio getting the early push on this Gnar. We knew this was going to be a good matchup. He can basically just stand in front of this wave. He knows his jungler's coming towards the top side. He has some safety in that.
It is a little
looking to fight early, sorry.
Yeah, speaking of the junglers that you're talking about, it is very interesting to me that Sejuani's opting for a full clear because this champion is just so slow, and we see that ward timeout, but I don't think me actually saw it. Oh no, they did. There was a vision ping on the map, so they knew there was vision. But all the while, Timic cruising through their full clear.
Yeah, Timic already on the buff. Olaf with this buff clear. He's also a little bit healthier due to that shield. As we see him picking up the axes, Prince Six with the early shove. A wave is going to be stacking here for them now. They could potentially let this push in and start looking for those early trades we knew they wanted. As Crothio is going to get even traded by this Kale. Did he take a turret shot? What's happening?
Yeah, definitely not what you like to see if you're Crothio and not abusing that lane to its fullest potential. On one hand, chilling. I mean, all you want to do is scale. You want to hit that level 6, and if you're not dying before then, that's a win for the Kale.
Yeah, I can't agree. And this top lane up to this point has really not been of too much excitement. You see, one hand's going to start playing aggressive. Timic is here. Crothio going to bounce away. Timic looking to come for the gank. He's going to get seen by the Sejuani. What is Sejuani doing? Sejuani going to get it on. One hand has the first move. Going to look to start engaging. Slow. Coming down. One hand. Going to get hit. Crothio 1 HP. Kill with the flash forward. Crothio matches the flash. The axe is going to miss.
Timic has flash.
Timic flash hits the axe. First blood over to Timic.
I mean,
on the Olaf.
We talked about how MIT wants to play the game. They want to gank this Kale. Well, Timic was also there. And now the Olaf's getting ahead. This is not what we like to see.
Can't confirm. Not what we wanted. Timic hitting the flash snipe. I really don't know why we're in river there. Sejuani looking like she wasn't even looking at the Olaf. Didn't realize Olaf was there until they were face to face hugging. Olaf already securing the Iron Spike whip, walking towards this first Drake. If I'm Olaf, I'm looking to immediately run bot here too. We know Tristana is going to have the push. And it looks like Sign was taking a thing out of Chubby Chernobyl's book. Going to gank mid lane here. Is he going to hit the hook? Into the cage, hits the hook, gonna be stunned up. Veigar gonna put some damage down. Ignite coming out, but they are not even close on damage.
Yeah, Ignite
Magical
coming
Girls,
out from
no mana, gonna have to back.
Ignite coming out from Sign was taken. Only Magical Girls doesn't have the teleport though, so we'll have to walk to lane, and Veigar might. Ooh, low on mana, so might not be able to shove it in as quickly as they would have liked, but still no TP on only Magic Girls while Veigar has it.
Yeah, very good thing coming out for the Veigar, especially because I feel like only Magic Girl is not going to have kill pressure until an item. At least one item.
Yeah.
Veigar are just able to play so safe near the back of the lane.
Yeah. Definitely easy to survive as the Veigar as me. Around the bot lane, but it's just gonna clear the jungle.
We see another trend that has been happening pretty much every game is Nerf Snugglebutt, even though he's been getting pushed in, is just with a CS lead. Stick's already slightly falling behind. As we see one hand hit 6, he's going to get in that range for him. And suddenly Nari loses just so much of his prio in this lane. Getting poked out, does not have Mega Gnar for him. One hand looking to run him down. Knows Crothia does not have flash. Crothia's going to jump to safety.
Yeah, that's level 6 KO. And Nar was so far from Mega, could not threaten anything there. Yeah,
that first kill just, I mean, it takes so much of what makes Nar vs. Kale good out of it.
Yeah,
out of the lane, sorry.
Yeah. Definitely not what MIT wants to see. And already at 6 minutes in the game, 1k Big B gold advantage for GSG. That's starting small but early.
And we're getting better. I'm pretty sure by this point last game it was already at least 2k.
Yeah.
Just about. Pretty even farm, pretty chill early game. This is kind of what we needed. But we're seeing a lot of what happened game 1 for the side of GSG happening to MIT now. This really aggressive Tristana lane. And we're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, Chubby and Chernobyl and Nerf Snugglebutt able to calm some of the pressure being put on, but now, like we want to see, me coming towards the top side. I don't think was spotted out either.
Not spotted out. Me's going to come into the lane, knock up one hand. One hand still has R, but he's so low already. Crow already almost going to land the autos. Crow Theo with the kill on the one hand. Exactly what we were talking about early game, what we needed me on the Sejuani to do.
Yeah, there's the pressure. That's what we want to see.
Already looking better than games 1 and 2, keeping the gold advantage close, 1-1 in kills at 8 minutes. This first Drake is still up, and we see Sejuani topside, but we're not jumping on it.
Yeah, still farming up, probably trying to hit the 6 before forcing anything, because level 6 or pre-6 Olaf can get locked down quite easily, especially by a Nautilus Sejuani.
Now we see Veigar getting out-shoved by only Magical Girls, not getting that prio, not getting the ability. And really weird here is he's taken it back, but with Predator Veigar, no boots yet.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting, we'll say.
Not ideal. Level 6 is coming across the board. Spelling doom for GSG or MIT, we won't find out for at least a little bit. As we see Timic walking into the bot lane. Chubby Chernobyl is going to stun up Prince Sticks, but they're just going to walk out. Timic throwing axes for fun. Garthia getting engaged on by one hand. Almost Mega Gnar. Could look to TP to this bot side. Does not have TP up, so he can't. As we see on the backside, Timic's going to get engaged on, keeping him out of the fight. Chubby Chernobyl is going to get hooked. There's talk about going to come out with the rocket, looking to get reset off Prince Stick.
Timic is winning.
Autoing. Prince Stick's 1 HP. Timic's winning. Double kill going over to only Magical Girls. And I don't even know how that happens. How was Timic winning a 1v2?
Yeah, I have no idea. Timic pop with that. I don't even know if they had ulted until later. Oh, Theo.
One hand gets the solo kill on a Crow Theo.
Definitely thought they were out of range.
What is happening? It's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of the same things we saw in game 1 and game 2, where GSG is just finding these kills out of nowhere, and they blow the game wide open.
Yeah, maybe MIT had a little bit of mental reset. It was looking okay, but with only Natural Girls and Timic already being 2 kills apiece, it's not looking good for GSG. For MIT. These members of GSG snowball so well and make it so hard to play.
Yeah, both of these players fighting for the finals MVP spot. Trying to show who's better. GSG looking to end this series here, 3-0, proving they deserve it. They worked so hard, all split, undefeated all through playoffs, looking to continue that trend.
But we'll see if they are able to close it out, because We know Olaf isn't the best scaler into the late game, but then again, they do have a Jinx and a Kale.
Trumper Chernobyl's gonna get caught up. Somehow that cage didn't hit him. He's gonna get hooked on the re-engage. Jinx is gonna flash away, looking to sacrifice Trumper Chernobyl. Prince Sticks is gonna finish him off with the explosive charge. Why did Jinx flash?
Yeah,
nothing was gonna hit her.
Got hit by the Nautilus ult, so maybe like in anticipation of a hook and more, but definitely earlier than needed. And all the while, Crothio dying for their third time this game up in the top lane, ganked by 3. Not great for the Gnar.
Not at all great for the Gnar. As we see his little, I don't even know what that is, to be honest, laying on the ground.
Kane.
Okay.
He's Gentleman Gnar.
And me looking to punish this flashless Jinx as Chubby Chernobyl's coming back. The engage is gonna miss. Chubby Chernobyl gonna engage. Caught by the cage. Veigar feed laying down
Still
damage.
here. Yeah, Veigar feed still in the spot lane because only Magical Girls took the roam towards the top lane, but they don't even have a dragon to take here.
What are we still doing here? Timid gonna get so much of this side of jungle. Maybe gonna even gank Crothio again, putting this Gnar so far behind. Kale already with a 30 CS lead.
Yeah,
This is already just...
Yes, with the CS lead, that's not what you like.
No, that is not what we like to see at all. A 2,000 gold, Big B gold advantage. 3-0 on this only Magical Girls too. Getting OMG ahead here is going to allow her to push out the mid lane so much. Not let this Predator Veigar do what they want to do and run to the side lanes.
Yeah, I mean, Veigar has made the roams, but Holy Magical Girl is much more successful in their own. And, I mean... Oh, wow.
Gonna miss time mistaken, is gonna engage on Chubby Chernobyl. Depth charge gonna come out onto the Jinx. Jinx sitting near the back. Prince 6 autoing, but he's getting autoed by the Jinx. Last auto is gonna come through. Jinx with the reset. Looking to engage onto time mistaken, but Mia's here. Flashes, jumps forward, stuns up Nerf Snugglebutt. Gonna get slowed. Kill's gonna come out. Where was the Sejuani R? Where was Sejuani R used?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but Veigar feed should just be able to press R and get this kill. Okay, there you go.
Flash for style points. Veigar's flash gonna be down. Does get the kill. 1-0-1 on this Veigar. As we get to see the recall. Timic is looking to take this mid tower here. Is poised with Herald. Again, just no objective priority coming out from MIT. Is Veigar's gonna flash back? I think he's just gonna get dove.
No, it's a little hard to dive the Veigar, but able to get this crash to the Rift Herald. Not quite the turret, though.
Olaf has R, though.
Olaf did have R. Wanted to play it a little bit safe. Hey, this is the finals. They want to play a little bit more reserved. This is their game series point. League point, really.
Finals match point can confirm. Crothio almost with the Gnar up, but this Kale is just already level 11. He's gonna engage.
Level difference.
Gonna miss the R, doesn't even aim for the wall. Misses the W. Kale's gonna start autoing back. Crothio solo, one hand with the solo bolo. Single-handedly putting this top lane on his back.
Hey,
we doubted him. We doubted him.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Were you paid off to say with the solo bolo for each one-hand kill?
I can make no comments as to my outside obligations to say single-handedly carrying the top lane. As we see Veigar gonna forward. Chubby Chernobyl just jumps through the cage onto him. Veigar, 1 HP.
Oh, and their Snugglebutt's dead.
Oh my god, Snugglebutt's dead. Prince 6 has to flash away, jumps over the wall. He's gonna follow, but Chubby Chernobyl's gonna get stunned up and hard away. Prince 6 is huge on the back line. Prince 6 is gonna get the kill. Timic's gonna get the double. Prince 6 dies. Chubby Chernobyl is gonna get the kill. What is happening? 4 for 2 in the favor of GSG. As this Drake is gonna be secured. And it's a 5k gold advantage already. Like, we went from 0 to 100. This game is just getting insane. Dragon gonna be secured.
This game for sure getting insane and already snowballing out of hand in favor of GSG, and for a third game in a row, we see the Hex Gates activate.
Yeah, I don't know. Riot fixed the game, I guess. RNG,
Right?
not RNG.
Yeah, Riot just wants GSG to win by knowing they're going to get the early dragon, so putting them in position to get the strongest soul. But
I think
now,
all series, MIT has secured 1 Drake.
yeah, and it was for the trade for Baron, right?
That's right, yeah. Grothio gonna hit Mega Gnar, gonna drag this wave towards him. One hand gonna wisely walk out and start getting Krugs.
I mean, one hand already level 12 at 15 minutes. This Kale is where she needs to be.
Kale's online.
Yeah, Kale is online. I mean, hopefully they're all online. I don't know if this is a LAN tournament or what, but yeah, okay.
Oh, confirm from production. This is not a LAN tournament. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Kale already with 1 item completed. And halfway to 2 almost. Probably looking for Riftmaker, I would assume here.
That could be, for sure.
This top lane is just a stomp, a 50 CS lead.
50 CS. Crothia walking way too far.
Crothia's gonna get stunned, jump away. Crothia does have the flash. One hand's gonna flash forward. Crothia's gonna... Doesn't matter. Hello, Kale. One hand. Yeah, I mean, if this game goes way too long, it doesn't even matter. Kale's already huge.
That looked like a two-handed play for one hand, but...
I mean... Listen. One hand is just gonna take this game, this series, put it on his back.
Uh-oh. Vex is dead.
Vex is getting caught out, gonna get the R. Prince's gonna jump forward onto Chubby Chernobyl, but he has no follow-up.
I would have catch, but Kale
Magical
pushing
Girl's
on
getting caught out.
Here too, all the while.
And we do need to note, that is where the Sejuani R went this time, but we're just letting this Kale just free scale in the side lane. We're not doing anything about it. As we see a 3-man gank towards Timic. Timic's just going to run out. We're going to start catching this mid wave. We need to find a way to do something about this Kale instead of letting Crothio just die on repeat to it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Prince Stick's gonna jump forward, gonna land, does not get the reset on Nerf Snuggle, but gonna walk out. Too aggressive, Chubby Chernobyl kills him. What is that damage? Is we gonna see Harold gonna come out, 3v2 numbers advantage, Olaf gonna R, runs through the cage at the Vagar, misses the axe, one hand gonna start engaging on Crothio, gets stunned up by the R. Sign was taken, gonna turn it around onto Timic, Timic getting stunned up, 1v2ing, Vexar's gonna land, Vex into the Vagar cage, gonna take some damage, she's gonna land it onto the Vagar as well. Cooldown's coming out. Vagar's going to get one shot. And it's going to be an ace for GSG. What happened?
Will they grab the Herald, though? It's still chilling there. It might have already timed out. They didn't grab it.
Casters, is it still there?
Or production? It's...
Or production?
We don't have vision.
Not there. It's gone.
Yeah, they didn't pick it up.
Oh, no.
I mean, what a shame. They had to get 3 kills and lost the Rift Herald. Or 4 kills even. I don't know. They got a lot of kills and lost the Rift Herald. Oh no. I mean, they're already so fed.
Yeah, this is just... It's an 8k Big B gold advantage. 85. We're looking at a 7-0 Olaf. This is exactly what we were talking about. This Kale's online. This Olaf's online, ready to scrap. 2 items coming out from the Kale.
I mean, yeah, Kale's level 14 pre 20 minutes. So close to level 16. Can I see the XP real quick? Production? Because if I'm seeing this correctly, one hand, 2 full levels up on the second most player, 3 levels on their lane opponent, and just so far ahead of everyone else in the game. Have so much XP. Oh my gosh!
Engage on Only Magical Girl. Only Magical Girl's losing the fight to the blue buff. We see Mee's gonna get stunned up. Chubby Chernobyl's gonna jump in, but Only Magical Girl's gonna run away. He gets the reset. Vagar's gonna shut down the Maokai. Autoing Timic. Timic's dealing no damage. 1v4. Prince Six gonna jump out. Prince Six is gonna get caught. Dead. Nurse Snugglebot with the kill. Jinx coming in with the resets. Timic's gonna get a double. And GSG turns it around on the back end. Crothio caught out again. Jinx looking to finish the autos.
No.
And this is just going to be, it's a disaster. As they're going to secure the 3rd Drake of the game pre-20 minutes. This is insanely fast souls every game.
Yeah.
9-0 on this Olaf. Timic making an absolute run for playoff or match or finals MVP. I can't use English. I'm sorry.
Yeah, having a great game this game, and I mean, really showing us the strength of that Olaf. And it looks like they're happy. They're gonna go get this 20-minute Baron.
Yeah, and I mean, with two people on the bot side, one of them being your jungler, there's no smite. You can't do anything about this.
They're not even gonna know. It's just gonna be taken.
And one hand with these buff minions, gonna be able to reset 16 even faster. He could just end this game single-handedly by himself.
Yeah, looking insanely strong.
Baron Nashor taken. We're gonna enter the right chain's Baron power play. Huge gold advantage coming out for GSG.
But will Maokai die to Veigar feet, who's getting their butt kicked by the Baron minions?
Can confirm Veigar is losing to these Baron minions. Again, down in CS in the mid lane. We're up CS in the bot lane. Finally, Prince Sticks coming out with a little bit of that lead. And right now, it looks like that's where most of this gold is. Speaking of Prince Sticks, doesn't matter how much gold you have, because only Magical Girls is coming for you. Halfway across your screen, one shot, just like that. And this is just looking like a GSG just like I don't know. I'm just gonna say like 5 more times. This is just over.
This game, I mean, this whole series, it's been so dominant for GSG. And I mean, looking forward, not even just past this game, regardless win or lose, they have been so dominant. And looking forward to Amateur Worlds, definitely a force to be reckoned with.
For sure, going to be able to do something about this as we're looking at an engage. Timic's going to run through the Veigar cage. One hand is going to go into the middle of the team with no Mega Gnar. He's going to get one shot. Chubby Chernobyl with the kill. Engaging on a Simon's taken. Simon's taken disappears. Sejuani going to come out. Veigar walking melee range for some reason. Going to get exploded. Jinx with these resets with the double kill. Looking to make it 3. And that's going to be 4 kills coming out so fast. This game is just over. Prince 6 under turret. Doesn't matter. You're gone, son. GSG is here to stay. We are here to take the finals. We're going to take your Nexus at 22 minutes. It doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh.
And this is going to be your ZGG IBS finalist winners, your champions, GSG Iota, in dominating fashion.
I mean, yeah, absolutely dominating from start to finish. Each game more dominant than the last, and it was just such a good look from all players across the whole series. I mean, where we had our top lane for GSG, not looking so hot. One hand didn't have the best first 2 games, but I think they about made up for that with the KO game.
I can definitely agree to that. One hand looking amazing in the 3rd game. But across all 3 of these games, I would look at 2 players definitely standing out towards the domination, towards the powerhouse fights. And that's going to be only Magical Girls and Timic just putting on an absolute show. Choosing MVP is definitely going to be hard here. Me personally, I think a lot of these games stemmed off Timic and his early jungle pressure, these early jungle rotations. Definitely just put the team on his back in the early game and definitely got them ahead.
Yeah, able to make such great plays, able to be smart about the jungle, get these dragons. I mean, not only was it insane, like, control from the bot lane, they were able to get the pressure, but so only 1 dragon going over to MIT across the whole series? That's insane for GSG.
I think it was 1 dragon and maybe 1 herald. I don't even know if they've got a herald.
Hey, they snuck away a Baron, though.
Insane. They did get 1 snuck Baron. Again, it was immediately lost after that, like maybe 20 seconds later. But it was just such a dominant showing for GSG Iota. And I think a lot of that was on Timic.
Yeah.
We're now going to throw it to the analyst desk. We're going to go over a post-series recap. My name's Fritz. That's Michael. Thank you guys for spending the night with us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the ZGG Analyst Desk. As Goon Squad Gaming officially becomes Squad Gaming, the IBS Championship for this split.
Yeah, I mean, pretty dominating. Don't really have much to say. They kind of just steamrolled all 3 games, which, I mean, I had some faith in MIT, but fortunately I've been let down a little bit.
Yeah,
and I mean
so
with this, sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, you first.
I was gonna say with this team again, they've been playing for well over a year at this point. So I mean, the synergy that they have as a full 5-man, honestly, just is going to be better than any team unless they've been playing for exactly as long.
For sure, for sure. And I don't even know how you pick a MVP of this. All 5 top 2 supports just dominated the entire series. And one thing I kind of want to get into is picking the new Olaf, which is just reworked past week. How do you think champion changes might have affected this game?
I mean, personally, from what I've seen in my solo queue games and other games, I thought he was going to be a stronger solo laner, and I figured he would still be like old Olaf, where you want an enchanter around him to like boost him up and make him a early game tyrant. Apparently, that doesn't matter. He can go in the jungle and do it for free. So, oh well. I guess he's just as strong as always.
Yeah, the shield on the W honestly is a crazy change that ended up I think giving him a better overall jungle clear as well.
Yeah. The other big moment from the draft I thought was GSG locking in the Kale for one hand, which seemed like kind of a risky pick. Kind of dominating the series to lock in such a highly volatile champion. Especially into something like a Gnar that is heavily favored to beat the Kale. But as we're going to see in this replay coming up, one hand entered the mid game already having a massive lead. So let's take a look at how they accomplished that.
Yeah, and with this right here, actually, it's Olaf literally just trying to ego the Sejuani, and it worked out for him. It's almost like they weren't communicating, though, because of the fact that they kept backing up, even though Crothios is literally like one hit away from death. And Olaf getting lucky with this Q not completely missing him with this flash, or he actually walked back into it. Had he been continuing to go down towards the wall, he would have been safe from the Q, and he wouldn't have died for the first blood.
And I think inherently they got... I mean, obviously they lost the play, but like I don't think you ever take that 2v2 considering the Kale has lethal and she's only going to get stronger and stronger throughout the fight. It's not like Conk, but you have that extra attack speed steroid and the extra range. And then on top of her E, I believe giving her extended auto attack range and execute damage. It was a really silly 2v2 to take, and then it turned out to be top cap. So
yeah, and that's a theme we saw over and over again in this whole series of anytime me, the MIT jungler, wanted to try to make a play in a side lane, Timic was there to shadow and make it a 2v2 instead of a 2v1 and turn the fight. And now we've got another replay coming up. One hand did not even have that jungle support, but managed to get a pretty good result anyway.
And this is just one of the many times that one hand, I think, just stopped caring about the tower in its entirety and just said, nope, going to get the kill regardless. And again, like they were saying, he completely didn't go for the wall at all with the Gnar ultimate. He just threw him back into his own wave at this point.
I think Crow was thinking, like, inherently, like, maybe he would start taking tower aggro, but he had stopped autoing and he'd stopped hitting him. So, like, I see the ideology there where, oh, maybe if I throw him into tower will, hit him. But he just never auto-attacked him, and then procced lethal again, and then it was just good night to Crow.
Sure. And final topic of the night, with GSG dominating this league and the playoffs so thoroughly, going 6-0 in the playoffs, not dropping half the players barely even dropping kills. I imagine we could see some of these players playing in gold next season. How do you think something might have?
So I think they all pretty much have the potential of gold. My ideology about solo queue is you can get anywhere with just a sheer amount of games. So if they really want to hit gold and they really want to go up to the next echelon of tier of players, I think it's always achievable. You just kind of have to like dedicate yourself, and I for sure see some of them having future success in gold leagues, especially here in ZZG.
I would agree with that. I was just say like with going from an IBS to a gold league, there's a huge difference in how people play. And you can see, like, when somebody is an IBS player that goes into gold, it's one of two things. Either they're going to do really well, or they're going to just have a lot of issues getting used to going against players that are actually better.
So, as someone who recently made that jump, Wisdom, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for these players?
Just mindset, honestly. Going from IBS to gold, half of our team when I was playing moved to gold, and I think pretty much all of us had issues to begin with. But it's sometimes even finding like a decent role lane, like a role swap basically, to figure out what you're going to do with that lane, or figure out how you're going to do like gold in general. Because again, it's a mindset difference of you can do really well in IBS and then just have so many more issues in gold because you're not used to a team of 5 people communicating better than what you can, or doing just different, like even warding is completely different from gold to IBS.
Absolutely, just such a higher level of team play. But I think all these individuals, we look forward to seeing them next season as we wrap up this split by saying thanks to casters, desk, productions, admins, league staff, and every coach and player that was involved in this split, making it amazing. And we'll see you next season.
Bye.
Later.